And I need to get with TKB to get him on Pop's panel.
TKB, did you hear that? Pops needs to get with you. So without further ado, he's great. I like TKB. That he'd be a great one for the panel. So definitely, should he get a hold of you? Do you want to give him your? Is he? I don't know.
My email is all lowercase gspikes58@yahoo.com, and get a hold of me if you're interested in being on the panel, and we'll work it out.
And that's again G Spikes. I'm gonna put it in there really quick. G Spikes at yahoo.com.
No, here, I'll put it in right quick.
Okay, yeah. I see. I don't know why I'm pretending you're like the I can't even talk today. I was so thrown off with StreamYard. I'm like, oh gosh, it gets me every time. But we're about done with them. We are about done. Carl, I saw. Sup, Carl? What's up? So tonight we have a very special guest. You guys probably recognize the name, or you've seen his show before on YouTube. He's got a great show. I happened to catch you one day. I was going through. He does more. I know he does morning and night. Daniel Hamilton, otherwise known as Danno. That's how I know him anyway. He's a passionate cryptid researcher, experiencer, and he's the host of the Cryptid Podcast. His lifelong journey, the unknown, began at the age of 12 in 1984 during a family hunting trip on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. Oh, I wonder if he was close to ESETI. And so, yeah, he's got a ton of stuff like UFO, cryptid. Him and Pops have a lot in common, too. I heard him talking backstage. And so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring Danno up here. Hey, Danno, welcome.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome to our circus. Do you have StreamYard, Danno?
I do. I don't have this kind of problems, though.
Oh, why? Pops, what's going on? Why is it just us? This is crazy.
It's not just us. It's everybody I've talked to except Danno is having trouble with StreamYard.
What's up? What's up?
Well, what are you doing different, Danno? You want to let us in on your secrets or what? Because we're struggling here.
Hey, when it comes to this type of stuff, I'm a hard R when it comes to that type of stuff. I just know how to click and push buttons. That's all I know how to do. But, what I'm thinking, one, where did you guys find that picture for the thumbnail? Two, the bio in a little bit is kind of off. I had my first sighting in 84, but I kind of did maybe a little bit. Okay, so right now you have someone in the chat right now, and I'm not happy about it because he's starting right now. He's starting, and I'm gonna call him out because he thinks he knows.
If he starts trouble, Danno, he will be booted.
He already is. He already is. He thinks he knows me. He thinks he knows my government name, and he doesn't. And he's trying to mess with me. So, Steamboat, you need to stop, dude.
It's taken care of.
Good, because I haven't messed with this guy since he started to try to sync my channel. Because I called him out on some garbage that he did to some female moderators on my channel. So if he wants to play games, we can play games, but this is not the time nor the place for it.
No. We got it taken care of.
I'm here to have amazing chat with you guys, bring some cool things to your audience and things like that. So I had my first sighting when I was 12 in Graham, Washington. Later in life, after I'd started talking about my encounter and really getting a chance to go in and investigate things and listen to audio and watch video and things like that, it made me realize that I had heard certain things, seen certain things, and encountered certain things when I was younger, like around the ages of 6 and 7, which was in the late 70s. A little north of Aberdeen, Washington, about an hour 40 minutes north of Aberdeen, Washington. I told two of the encounters that I had prior to my sighting on season 5, episode 3 of Monster Quest. I was on the new season, and one had happened when my dad and my uncle had taken me out hunting. Now, it wasn't hunting season, but my dad wanted to introduce me right before hunting season. So I kind of get used to it. I was about 6 or 7 around that time frame. And he said, we're going to go put you up in a deer stand. I'll be up there with you. We get there the first day. And, everything was fine. He kind of walked me up there, showed me where it was, what it looked like. And then went down, went to bed, woke up the next morning. Now, it wasn't like a normal hunting, getting up at before the dawn, to get yourself out there in the deer stand. It was, daylight was already coming up. And so my dad and I walked up, and here I'm walking up this trail, maybe 30, 40 minutes up this trail with my hero. And any time that I had alone with my dad was like the best time ever. Here I get to do something I watched my dad would leave and go hunting. Now I get to be part of that. And so we get up in the deer stand, and he takes out this little pin light, and he's looking in his knapsack, and he's like, oh, he goes, I left something. I can't remember what he left, but he said he needed it. And I remember him looking at me. He's like, listen, you're up in this deer stand. You're perfectly safe. There's nothing out here that's going to harm you. Just stay up here, and I'll be right back. I'm going to run right down to the camp, and I'm going to run right back up. Now, again, if you're just mosey on up there, trying to be quiet, it's about a 30 to 40 minute walk. So I'm like, okay. So I can see my dad climb down the ladder, and I see him walking down the trail. Well, I didn't really hear anything, no animals, nothing like that. But I heard the stream that was down a few, probably 20, 30 yards down this little sloped hill. Couldn't see it, but he could hear it. And if anybody knows the sound of a stream, it's very relaxing. It's very hypnotic. And it started putting me to sleep. So I'm kind of leaned back a little bit. I got my feet stretched out. And that feeling right when you get ready to fall into that deep part of your sleep? Like your body kind of jerks you awake? Well, that's what happened. So I kind of look around, and I'm like, what the heck? And so I don't know why. I looked down, and I saw my left boot was untied. And I'm like, I know I tied my boot. So I go and I tie my boot up again. And I'm just kind of looking around, and it's a little lighter now. I'm starting to see a lot more colors. I'm starting to see things. And again, I started getting drowsy. Started putting my chin down to my chest. And then my foot jerks again. And I'm like, I immediately look down at my foot, and my boot is untied. And I yell, Dad, that's not funny. Stop playing. And I go and I tie my boot again, and I'm looking around. I don't see nothing. And now I'm laser locked on my boot. And I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes after just looking at my boot, I hear this loud crack come from the right. And over to the right was like some bushes, some trees, it wasn't sparse. It was kind of thick over in that area. And I hear this massive crack. And I immediately snapped my head to the right to see what it was. And when it happened, I felt my boot pull off to the left. And I looked down, and my boot's untied for a third time. And I stand up, and I start screaming at the top of my lungs. This isn't funny. I want to go home. I don't want to ever hunt. This is scaring me. Why? I'm doing all this type of stuff. And I look, and I see my dad like running at a sprint up this hill, up this pathway. And he's like, shut up. You're not going to see anything. You're up here screaming. You're probably scared everything away. And I'm losing my mind as much as I possibly could, that I could think of as a 6 or 7-year-old kid talking to his dad. And he goes, whoa, buddy, calm down. Tell me what happened. So I explained to him everything that happened. He's like, okay. He goes, stay put. I'm going to look around. So now I'm standing and I'm kind of hugging the tree so I can look behind the tree and watch my dad walk in this little field area that's behind the tree right before you get to the tree line. And as he's walking around, he stops and he squats down and he kind of like touches the ground and he's looking. And then he looks up like this and he's kind of looking along the tree line and he stands up. Now I'm going to preface this with saying that my dad was a Vietnam vet. My dad grew up hunting in Alaska. So I would assume even today that my dad's senses were heightened. So as he's watching this tree line, he takes his rifle off of his shoulder. It's a 30-30, chambers around, and he brings it up to the ready. And he starts looking again, and he brings it up and he starts aiming, and he's sweeping left to right. And as he's coming back from the left to the right, he stops and he's like pinpointed on one area. And I hear my dad say, "Daniel, get out of the tree right now." And I'm like, I go to ask him a question. And he's like, "Get out of the tree right now." He's like, I wouldn't say panicked, but he's being very forceful on how he's talking. Like he's urgent. Like, you need to get out of this tree now. So as I'm climbing out of the tree, down the ladder, I meet my dad at the bottom of the tree stand. And my dad immediately says, "Listen, I need you to do this. I need you to run as fast as you can back to camp. Do not stop. Do not turn around. Just run." And I'm like, okay. So I take off running, but I don't hear my dad coming in behind me. So I stop to look, and as I stop to look, I see him turn to run. He's like, "I told you to run." Like he was, there was every ounce of urgency was in his voice. And we did this little cat and mouse game like a couple more times before we were both at a dead run, running down this pathway into camp. And as we were coming into camp, my uncle was coming out of the tent. And my dad ran right up to him and like got right in my uncle's face, like, "What are you doing up there? You're messing with Daniel." Trying to scare him. He's like, whoa. He's like, "Dean, you need to calm down." He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. I literally just got back into camp. I'm coming out of the tent because I hear you guys running down the trail." And my dad's like, "We got to go right now. We got to go." And my dad was insistent. We packed everything up and we left. Now, years later, I asked my dad, and I'm talking, I was 16, 17 years old. My dad, "Remember that time?" I go, "What did you see?" He's like, "I didn't see anything." He's like, "I'm telling you." He's like, "Daniel, I've hunted all over Alaska, Washington, Oregon, Montana. I've hunted big game. And what I heard, I've never heard in all the years I've hunted. I heard a growl that I could not identify. It was not a wolf. It was not a bear. It was not a cat of any kind. This thing was deep. It resonated, and I could feel it in my chest." That's the very first memory that I have of something that could have possibly been a Sasquatch. Now,
And that's 12 years old. You're saying that's intense for a
Oh.
12-year-old.
No. That was 6 or 7 years old.
Oh, 6 or 7 years
Yeah,
old.
I was just a
Okay.
little kid. I didn't know. I had
Wow.
no idea what a Bigfoot was. I didn't see the Patterson-Gimlin film until I was like 11. So Bigfoot was not even in my vocabulary. I had no clue what it was. If I would have seen one at that age, I would have thought it was a gorilla probably. So when I think about it, what else could it be? Okay. My dad stood 5'7". My uncle stood 5'11". The tree stand we were in, about 12 to 15 feet up in the air. There's no way that my dad or my uncle could have reached up and untied my boot string the way it was untied. There's no bear in Washington state that even standing on its hind legs that can reach up that high and use its claw to untie my boot. What was it? I don't know. So that was my first.
Yeah, no, that's intense. That's very intense. Do you think it was Bigfoot, or you think it was paranormal, or do you think it was kind of looking back on it? What do you believe it was?
I think it was possibly a Sasquatch. I think it might have been an adolescent, maybe, like an older teenager, young adult, just goofing off. Here's this kid sitting up in a deer stand. Let's mess with him. That's what I'm hoping the intention was, So, yeah.
Well, you know as well as we do, Daniel, that they love to tease us.
Oh, yeah.
Especially kids. They like watching and playing with kids.
Yeah.
All the juveniles do. I mean, a juvenile Bigfoot could possibly be 8 to 10 foot tall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and it's probably what he was doing, was just playing with you.
Yeah. And, that's what I believe. But now what's really a kicker, you guys, is that a couple of years later, we go back to the same area. But this time it's my dad, it's my uncle, it's my brother, it's my uncle's friend, it's two of his neighbors, and each one of his neighbors brought one of their kids. So there's 9 of us. There's 4 kids and 5 adults. We go up there in 3 pickup trucks. We take the same route. We drive up the same old logging road. We go up, we turn around. So now the trucks are facing back down the logging road. So when we leave, we can just drive away, not have to go up and turn around or whatnot. We had a ton of gear. The kids were carrying what we thought were probably 100-pound packs, but in reality, they were maybe 3 pounds at heaviest. The adults were pulling most of the stuff in on deer sleds. We slept in this big old army tent, this canvas army tent that could probably sleep 20 people. Excuse me. And, the first day, I told my dad, I go, Dad, remember that time? He's like, yeah. He goes, don't worry about that, And I really didn't, because, again, I had no clue what it was, And my dad said I was fine. I believed my dad. You guys, my dad was my hero, My dad could do anything. And so as we're sitting there and camp is all made, and we go to the stream that I heard a couple years prior, and we go to the part of the stream that's literally in front of our camping area, probably, 20 yards, if that. And it kind of slowed down in front enough where it had a big, deep pool, and the water was crystal clear, and you could see tons of fish. I'm talking tons of fish. And so I get all excited. I run up, Dad, there's so many fish. Can I go fishing? And he's like, yeah, here, go get your stuff. And so we get all the fishing gear. I'm hooking up my brother's stuff. I'm hooking up the rigs for the other 2 boys. And we start fishing. And it's like, literally, we would throw a hook in, we would pull a fish out. It was like one of those cartoons, like bloop, bloop, and you're just whipping your pole back and forth, and you're pulling fish in and out. It's crazy. So we come up with a ton of fish. My dad's like, holy, I know what we're having for lunch. I know what we're having for dinner, So, and that's what we did, while everything was still, my dad put them in one of the coolers, and we were walking around, and he was showing us the area and stuff like that. And we ate dinner and things like that. The next day we woke up, and first thing I did is look down, and they're down to the river, and there were still fish. So I made a note that I was going to go fishing later, get more, do some more fishing. And my uncle out of nowhere goes, hey, who wants to shoot guns? And we're like, yeah, what 9-year-old doesn't want to shoot a gun, So it was a little 22, little 22, little 20, Ruger 1022 rifle. And so we're just shooting cans, and we're shooting paper targets, and we see this rocky outcrop way up on this cliff that's right above the stream, and we're trying to shoot, because we think that the 22s, we're going to shoot this rocky outcrop off of the cliff, and it's going to fall into the water and make a big splash, right? So we shoot for a while, then we go on like a little hiking trip. My dad and my uncle, they're both trying to show us, if you guys get lost, look for this. If you're stay this, do this, you can eat this, don't want to eat this. He was just kind of giving us a little lesson, but he wanted to make it fun. And so we go back to the camp, we have lunch, and after lunch, we clean up and we start shooting some more. And just as we got done, we hear this just loud but distant, like holler or yell. And I looked at my dad and I go, "Dad, that was a bear." And he goes, yeah, that was a bear. So I'm like, all right, cool. You don't think anything about it. Rest of the day goes on. We eat dinner, we go to bed. And I could have swore I heard something walking around our camp that night, but I wasn't really sure. And if you walked in the front of the camp, in front of the tent, you walked in, my dad, my brother, myself and my uncle were on the right-hand side, and everybody else is on the left-hand side. And it was my sleeping bag, my dad, my brother, my uncle. And so when we got up, I saw what I thought were bear prints. And I'm like, "Dad, look at all these bear prints." And he's like, "Yeah, those are bear prints." And again, shooting some guns, not really doing anything, kind of messing around, fishing a lot. And we shoot again. And no sooner did we finish shooting, we heard that exact same yell. But this time it was way closer. Like, it didn't sound distant. It sounded really close. And I look at my dad, and my dad looks at me and he goes, "Bear." I'm like, okay. So we eat dinner, we clean everything up, we put everything, we close and lock the chest, we put the food bags up in the trees. We made sure there was nothing left behind because we didn't want something coming in and trashing the camp. So we go to bed, and I remember hearing something getting into something that we had outside the tent, like out where our main camp area was. And I opened my eyes, and I was surprised that I could see inside the tent. And my uncle had lit one of those old Coleman lanterns that had those like bulbs that would glow really bright or really dim, depending on how much gas you gave it, I guess. And it was on really, really low. And I'm looking around, and I see my dad up on his knees, and he's got his rifle. I see my uncle and his friend. They're sitting relatively close to each other. My uncle's looking at the front flap. His friend's looking at the back of the tent. And then the two other parents, they had handguns. Everybody else had rifles. And I'm sitting up and I'm looking, and I go to ask my dad a question, and my dad immediately puts his fingers to his lips to tell me to be quiet. And I looked, and I'm looking out the front of the tent, and when something is darker than what's dark outside, because we had this little gap in the tent flap, and I saw something move across it. I caught movement. And I looked at my dad, and when I looked at my dad, I heard something take its nails and drag them across the canvas tent right behind me, all the way around the back of the tent, and then on the other side. And then you heard it take off up into the woods, and it started yelling. I did not go to sleep for the rest of the night. I stayed awake, as did all the other adults. My brother and the two other kids, dead to the world. You could have set a bomb off next to them, they wouldn't have woke up. Daylight pops out. You can see daylight. My uncle, he gets up. He starts walking towards the tent flap, and he slowly pushes it open with his rifle. And then he sticks his head outside, and he walks outside. And then a couple seconds later, I hear him say, "Dean, you got to see this." And I jump up real quick, and I run as fast as I can to the front of the tent, and I open up the flap, and our camp is trashed. It is completely demolished. Camping tables broken and destroyed. Those lawn chairs that have like the nylon webbing, those are completely just twisted up. Our food bags are out of the trees and completely just ransacked. The coolers that had locks on them, those things they were all metal coolers. They had their lids completely just sheared off. Like something with incredible strength just pulled the lid right off of it. Anything that wasn't in a can was completely gone. You could see footprints everywhere. You saw parts of our cookware and stuff over here, parts of chairs over there. And my dad looked at me. He's like, "Get everybody up. We're leaving." So I go run back in the tent. I'm like, "Get up. We got to go. We're leaving. And the boys are trying to wake up. We pull all the sleeping bags out. We load everything up we possibly can. The tent comes down, wadded up, thrown on one of the deer sleds. Whatever else was salvageable was put on deer sleds. And we started taking off. We started taking off out of the woods. We left a bunch of stuff there that was destroyed. And as we were going, it was the two dads, then their sons, my uncle's friend, me, my brother, then my uncle, and then my dad. That's the line. We were all single file, and we were moving. And my brother and one of the other kids were slowing us up. So my uncle grabbed my brother and put him on a sled. The other kid got put on a sled, and the adults started pulling us really quick out of the woods. We come up the embankment to where the truck is, and as we're getting ready to come up this embankment, I hear my dad, my uncle say, "I got one here on the left. I got movement on the right," something like that. I jump in the first truck that I see. My brother gets in the back of the truck, the back of the cab. Other people with our party are going into the other two trucks. My dad runs by me. He jumps in the bed of the truck, of the middle truck. My uncle gets in the same bed of the truck I'm in, and someone hits the truck like a signal to go. Let's get out. So everybody starts taking off. We were maybe moving 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and my uncle opens up. And they're not just shooting their rifles just to shoot them. They're measuring their shots. They're taking aim at something. And they're taking very accurate shots at whatever they're shooting at. I look up to see what my dad's doing because I hear another rifle going to see if that was my dad. And as I look up, I see this long branch or stick or something come flying through the air like a spear. And it goes right between the truck that my dad was in and the truck that I was in. And it went sailing through. And that's when everybody, I mean, they really gassed the trucks. And we got out of there. And we rode all the way back to Aberdeen just like that. And that was probably one of the scariest moments that I can really remember. But at the time, I thought they were bears. I didn't think, because again, I still didn't know what Bigfoot was. I thought they were bears. I thought bears were chasing us. So.
Hey, Danno.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to your first story. We had a question.
Sure.
Ninja asked if your dad, when you talked to him about it, said it sounded like a bear, or what did that growl sound like?
My dad is hunting grizzly bear. My dad's hunting black bear. He grew up in Alaska. And he said it was not like any animal he's ever heard.
Well, that answers this question. Thank you.
Yeah. So
that's very intense. With it, do you think that did your dad experience this beforehand, or is this a family? Because I do hear a lot, or I guess that it does run in family lines, like where Pops, I know his family is the same way.
I found out years later that my dad had some encounters. Now, I don't know for certain with Bigfoot, but I know he's had encounters with other things that are known up in Alaska. My grandfather, however, did have an encounter with what they believe to be a Bigfoot. He was a logger, mostly by trade, logger and a fisherman. And as he got called into the company he worked for, I wish I knew what it was, said, "Hey, we need you to go up to this cut site. The last crew did not finish. We need you to finish it up. It shouldn't be that long. You should be there like no more than a week." My granddad's like, okay. So he takes his crew up there. There's still equipment up there. So they go down, they could see what they needed to do. There was still fallen trees along the hillside that they were supposed to be clearing. And so he says, "Hey guys, let's get it out of here. We can get this done in a week, no problem." So I don't know, maybe the second or third day they're there. He's got like 4 guys down the hill. They're setting chokers. The yarder operator, he's bringing things up to the landing. My grandfather was the foreman, so he was like limbing the trees so they'd get them ready to put them up on trucks or whatever. I don't know much about logging. And they had been busting their butts all morning long, and my granddad went to the yard operator, goes, "Hey, when they bring this last load up, sound that horn, let them know it's time to come up and have some lunch, and we'll knock this bad boy out tomorrow. We'll leave early," right? So, not a problem. These guys bring it up, and he hits that horn or whatever's on that yarder machine, and no sooner did that thing stop sounding that they heard this intense scream that started off low and just erupted out through the trees. My dad said that my grandfather said, you kind of felt it come up that hill and then like hit them in the chest. And he said he watched 4 grown men like they were elevating up the hillside. They were jumping from fallen tree to fallen. He's surprised that nobody broke their leg, their neck, or whatever. These guys move so quick, so fluidly up this hillside. By the time they were up at the top, everybody was already piling into trucks and waiting for them to jump in the bed of the truck so they could take off. And he never went back, as far as they know, to that landing to finish that job.
That's, yeah. Wow. We also had another question too. Has there been any, when you're talking about it, has there been any reports in the areas that you were in previously? Were there any reports?
Oh, there's reports all over Aberdeen. Yeah. Where I had my sighting, there's reports in Graham, Washington. That's where I had my first sighting, was in Graham, Washington. There's, yeah. Pierce County has more reports than some states have reports. Washington State has, well, what you're seeing on the BFRO website is, I think, inaccurate. I think there are thousands of reports they just haven't gotten to. But yeah, Pierce County has more reports than any other county in Washington State, and Pierce County has more reports than most states in the United States. So,
what do you think the deal is? How close is that to, like, let's say where the East City Ranch, is that like near Mount St. Helens or any of that area, or is it actually?
Mount St. Helens is south of Tacoma, south of Puyallup, south of Mount Rainier. The Mount St. Helens is close to Centralia, Tumwater, Olympia, that area. It's in that corridor. Yes, I have heard of bat squatch, but only through my podcast. I've heard of bat squatch, but not like organically, not hearing about it when I lived in Washington State. So,
can you explain what bat squatch is? Dare I ask?
From what I understand, it's a Bigfoot with bat wings.
Oh boy, that adds a new element.
I mean,
do you think some of this is like government and some of it is more like, I just feel like a certain part of this is getting out of hand. Yes.
I think bat squatch is a misidentified something. Just like sheep squatch, same thing. I think it's misidentified. I'm not really 100% sure what's going on with all of these different types of this squatch. I'm waiting to hear something about rat squatch or dog squatch or, monkey squatch, something. I'm rhino squatch. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear something.
I know. What are they going to come up with next? Do you think that part of it is, though, this is like an underground government project and part of it is more organic?
I think that our government, well, I don't think, I know our government knows something about Bigfoot. 100% they do. As do I think it may be some type of underground secret laboratory thing. Not with Sasquatch, I don't think. Do I think that they may have captured some or found some dead ones and decided to do, experiments on them? Probably. But as for Bigfoot being a government-made biological, I don't think so. Was my dad skeptical before the encounter? Does he think my dad unfortunately passed away 2014.
Sorry, Danno.
that was a rough day. And it really sucks because it's this month. He passed away on June 20th, the Friday after Father's Day in 2014. So that was a rough day for me. It's still a rough day. It's 12 years later, and it feels like it was yesterday. But you know, I'm glad I had the time with my dad. You guys, my dad knew something. My dad, and I think everything will be answered when I tell you about my first sighting. But my dad, when he was in Alaska, when he was 16, he had an encounter with a cryptid in southeast Alaska called the Kushtaka. Now, the Kushtaka is also known as the Otter Man. And they believe, or native folklore and stories even today, the Kushtaka is part sea otter and part man. It's a shapeshifter. They have the ability to shapeshift into a very large sea otter. You know, the cute little ones with the whiskers that sit on their back and hold hands with their mates so they don't drift away. Those cute little guys. They also have the ability to transform, shapeshift into a half otter, half man, or into a full man, even somebody that you may know. They are known as tricksters. They also have a malevolent spirit about them. They have been known to lead people to their death. My dad's encounter, he was about 15 or 16 years old, living in Ketchikan, Alaska. They had a bunch of property, and he was going out in the woods with a wagon to get some firewood. That, you know, and anybody who's cut a bunch of firewood, if you don't have a lot of space for it and you own the land, you just stack it in place. And then you take a truck or a wagon if you're close enough, and you get what you need and you bring it back. You load it up near the house and you go back for however many, you know, trips it takes. But I also think my dad was going out into the woods to have himself a cigarette because he started smoking around that time. And the path that he walked on was a long path that had a bend in the road that bent to the right, and then another little bit of a straightaway, but then it curved back around to the left and then into an opening. And the woods were not really dense. They were quite sparse, but there was no pathway going straight. So as he's walking on the pathway, he's whistling, he's getting ready to light up a cigarette, and he sees somebody walking on this path. And he's thinking to himself, yeah, I'm not going to repeat verbatim how he said it, but what the heck is this guy doing in my woods? This is my property. What's he doing in here? You know, he should know better. That'll, you know, you'll get taken care of a certain way if you're trespassing on people's property up here in Alaska. So as he gets closer, he's really getting a good look at this guy. And he says, this guy is very disheveled looking. Something looks off about him. And he's still whistling when he stops. And the guy comes up to him, and my dad stops whistling. And the guy, he said, the guy just kind of looked at him and goes, you got a cigarette? And he said there was something about this guy that really creeped him out. And my dad's like, yeah. And he gave him like 2 cigarettes. And he said he took one cigarette and put it behind his left ear. And my dad was fumbling for his lighter because he thought the guy was going to smoke the other one. But the guy just walked off. And so as he's walking by my dad is stopped, and he's turning and he's watching this guy walk. And now my dad's back is to where the pile of wood is. And now it's facing back the way he came as he's watching this guy walk. And he said he gets about 20, 25 steps away from him, and the guy stops. And he turns his head over his right shoulder like this, and he goes, you know, you really shouldn't whistle in the woods because you don't know what's out here. And with that, he turned. I'm getting goosebumps because I get goosebumps every time I tell, because my dad, I laughed at well, let me finish the story. So this guy continues to walk, and then he takes like a 90-degree turn and walks off into the woods. Now, like I said, these woods were not dense. They were kind of sparse. You can kind of see things moving through the woods, no problem. He said this guy walked behind a tree and was gone. And, you know, and when he told me the story, and I go, well, Dad, you know, what was it? He goes, It was the Kushtaka. And I go, oh my gosh, what's the Kushtaka? And he's like, it's the otter man. And I go, whoa, wait a minute. You mean what do you mean otter man? And he goes, yeah, half otter, half man. And I go, so you saw like this guy was like he's like, not a river otter, like the sea otter. And I started laughing even harder. I go, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? And I could see the absolute hurt in my dad's face. I could see that I had just really devastated my dad. And he looked at me and he walked away. And I knew I hurt my dad's feelings. And so, because he had told this story while we were having a barbecue. He had a bunch of friends over. My dad had this friend of his that he grew up with in Alaska named John, who's a native up there. And all of a sudden, my dad and John come back. And my dad goes, tell him. And I kind of, I'm 16 years old, I'm kind of cocky, I'm like, oh, you're going to come and tell me about the otter, man? And this gentleman, without raising his voice, made me feel about that big. And he goes, and he had that tone. I mean, if you hear Native Americans talk, they talk with this tone. It's a very deliberate tone. He's like, you should not laugh at your dad. And I'm like, oh, I felt like I was getting a verbal beating. And when he got done talking about the Kushtaka, I felt so bad, but I also felt absolutely terrified for my dad. And I'm like, Dad, you really saw that? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I did. And he goes, it wasn't the only time that it was around my house. I was taking a shower one time. And I had my face full of soap and shampoo. And all of a sudden, I hear something scratch the screen on the window in the bathroom. And this window it wasn't a big window. It was like a small window about like this wide and about like this high. And it was a good, 8 feet, 9 feet up in the air, up on the wall of the house. And he said he heard this thing scratch so hard against the screen that he heard the nails scratch the window. And my dad said, I went flying out of the bathroom, wiping my face off with a towel. He goes, I was completely in my birthday suit. That's not what he said, though. And he goes, and to my horror and surprise, our pastor, his wife, and their daughter were in the living room where I was now standing stark naked in front of them, screaming about something scratching on the window. And everybody was like, oh, and they recovered. And my grandfather and the pastor went outside with flashlights, and they found some really weird footprints by the window, and they could see where the screen had been ripped by like claws. And that's my dad's encounter with the Kushtaka. Now, when he was right before he was leaving, I want to see either basic training or Vietnam. It was one of those two significant dates, and I can't remember which it was. He wanted to get one last hunt in. He wanted to hunt one more time. And for whatever reason, I want to say it was that time for him because he didn't know if he was going to ever come back from Vietnam. So he went to an area, drove up to this place where he had hunted hundreds of times with my grandfather, my uncle, by himself. And as he was driving up this logging road, he saw like a herd of mule deer, or a bunch of mule deer, come down off this hillside, across the road, and then back down this other hillside down into like a ravine, and then up another ridge. And so as soon as he saw the last one run across, he had already stopped the car. He jumps out, he runs over, takes out his binoculars, and he's glassing the area to try to see how spread out they are. He doesn't want to shoot up into the main herd. He wants to get something that's maybe further back, maybe he'll get a good one. And so as he's going back from the left to the right, he sees something coming into his vision. And what the heck is that? So he goes back over real quick, and he says he sees this gigantic wolf. He said, when he told me this, he's like, Daniel, I have never seen a wolf this big. And this wolf was black as night. And he said, this thing was moving super quick. And then it stopped. And I'm watching this thing with binoculars. And he said it looked up towards the ridge, and then it stood up on its back legs and put its hand up. He said hand up on a tree. And he said it started sniffing the air. And was looking around. And he said it felt like it just did one of these numbers. It went and looked right at him. And it started showing its teeth and started licking its like lips or whatever. I don't know where, my dad called it a werewolf. I don't know if they have lips, but when a dog curls its lips up and starts showing its teeth and like licking its lips or whatever, that's what it was doing. And it was looking at him the entire time. And my dad was he couldn't believe what he was looking at. This thing drops down to all fours and starts moving down towards him. And he's like, no, there's no way. Grabs his rifle. He had a 30-06 at the time. And now he's scoping. He goes, if I get a shot at this thing, I'm taking it out. So as he's looking, he can't see it. He's like, I got to get ready to go. And as he's contemplating backing out, he sees the bush is about 150, 200 yards down this hillside into near the bottom of this ravine. He sees something pushing its way through, and it's this what he called a werewolf. And he said you could see the saliva coming off of its mouth. Its teeth were showing. Its eyes were yellow. It scared him. And he was just getting ready to take his rifle off a safe when one of the mule deers made a noise. And I've never heard a mule deer make a noise. I don't know what they make. I know it's not like an elk bugle. But he said it caught the attention of that werewolf. It snapped his head over looking, looked back at my dad, and then backed out of my dad's line of sight. He didn't want to take a shot, even though he believed he could hit it, but he didn't want to take a shot because what if he lost? What if he missed it? Then all of a sudden this thing's now really ticked off and my dad would not have time to take this thing out. So as he's trying to look for it, he sees it run up the side on the other ridge, and it's about a 45-degree angle going up after where these mule deer are. And he said it stops again. It stands up on its hind legs, looks at my dad. He didn't point at my dad, but he looked at my dad, showed his teeth again, and then took off running on two legs up and over the crest of the other ridge where the mule deers had gone over. As soon as he saw it crest that ridge, he got up, grabbed his stuff, ran to his vehicle, and tore off out of there.
We got some questions, Danno.
Sure.
Benno wants to know if there's both a natural dog man and a man-made dog man. I want your opinion on that.
I honestly, with all sincerity, I do not have an opinion. I've never encountered a dog man. I hear so many different things. So, Benno, you probably hear the exact same things I've heard. Yes, there's a lab-created one, and yes, there's a natural one. Yes, they're different than werewolves. No, they're different. They're not different than werewolves. Yes, they're werewolves. No, they're not werewolves. I don't know. Now, what's really, really kind of got me, what's the word? It's on my radar more than it has been. And the reason I say is because a few years ago, about 9 miles from my house, there was a dogman sighting. 9 miles from my house. So I want to go out there and I want to try to find the area to see if I drive up around and down these roads, maybe I'll see one. And then I'll say, you know what? Let's mark that off a bucket list. I've seen one. I'm good. I'm good there. But to have an educated guess or an opinion about it, I really don't. You've probably heard the exact same thing I've heard.
We've got some more questions.
Okay.
And I had one for myself that
Sure.
goes along with this question. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, asked if your dad ever talked about seeing the rock or hearing about the rock apes in Vietnam.
I did see that. No. like a lot of Vietnam vets, my dad very, very rarely talked about Vietnam. My stepdad as well, he very rarely talked about it. And a lot of things, if they did talk about it, it was them cutting up, goofing off, doing something stupid. But when it came down to being out in the bush, they never really talked about it.
All right. Now, here's my question. You just answered part of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you were overseas, and by the way, thank you for your service. Did you ever have any encounters overseas?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, Bigfoot, not your others. I know about your others.
I have not had
them later.
I've had no encounters with Bigfoot overseas, but I did have what I believe to have an encounter with the Fae.
The Fae, yeah, that's what I said. I knew about it, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I was wondering if you'd encountered any rock ape. Well, you wasn't in Vietnam, but and they got on different things in different countries, like the Yeti and
in Germany.
I don't know.
In Germany, the big one, and I wish I would have been stationed there, because years later I heard about it. It's the Moorbach monster, which happened at Hahn Air Force Base. And now I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've covered that extensively. I've got the transcript from when I covered it on Mysteries Unknown, and I'm going to revisit that whole thing. But what you guys can find online about the Moorbach monster, there is so many incorrect statements in there, from what I understand. And the reason I can speak on this is because I actually spoke to the person who was the flight sergeant for the flight that was on duty when that happened. And I go, I can't, okay, I believe you, but I need proof. And he sent me a duty roster dated the same date with the same individuals' names that he gave me. And I believe him. And some of the things that you're reading on there are true, but what's being reported is being reported secondhand. It's someone who wasn't even at that base at the time, but they took the stories that were told to them and reported it as it's something that they experienced. So
yeah, that happens a lot. Here's another question for you. Dirt Road, New England Dirt Roadie wants to know about calling on the blood of Jesus Christ would have an effect upon the creature one way or the other.
I wholeheartedly believe that they know, not only Bigfoot, but I also believe Dogman knows. They know the word Jesus. They know that name. And if you call upon the blood of Christ, I'm bathed in the blood of Christ. I'm saved through the blood of Christ. Yeah, the power of Christ will work for you. It's just, you have to have that faith to believe it.
That's what it all boils down to, is the faith. If you don't have the faith, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And yes, Dogman and Bigfoot both are very spiritual. They believe in God just like we do. They pray to God just like we do. They believe in Jesus just like we do. So they will obey that if you have the faith.
Yeah.
Even the bad ones, if it's a road that's being bad, they will follow that because your faith, they have to. They don't have a choice. But it's your faith when you call on Jesus.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
All right. Go on with your stories now.
Sure.
They're not stories. They're
no. So, after that, oh yeah, no. So I kind of wanted to give a little, context on who my dad was. So fast forward, I'm 11 years old, around 11. I see the Patterson-Gimlin film. I find a book in the library of school that it was only one book and it had Bigfoot in it. And I checked that book out the entire year. Like, it was time to turn it in. I turn it in, but I check it right back out. So if anybody can remember me from the 8th grade at Graham Junior High School, which is probably middle school now, I'm sorry, you guys, you didn't get to check out that book because I had it all year long. So anyway, I read that book cover to cover, especially the area with Bigfoot. And that's how I was introduced with Bigfoot, after I had seen the Patterson-Gimlin film. And I learned more about it. And in my mind, I was like, okay, they're in Northern California, 100% beyond the shadow of doubt. That's where they are. They might be in Oregon. Okay. They could maybe be in Oregon, but there's no way they're going to be in Washington State, because the way I was thinking was they can't cross the Columbia River. It's too big. It's too wide. It's too deep. I've seen people windsurf on that thing. That's a natural barrier. There's no way that they're going to be able to get across the Columbia River. I'm safe. I don't have to worry about it. It'd kind of be cool if they were here, but who knows? So my dad had just gotten single. My dad was married 4 times, and the 4th time was a charm. I never got along with any of my stepmothers, by the way. But anyway, that's another story. So he was newly single. I was having issues with my first stepdad. And so my brother and I, we moved back with my dad. And we were living in like an adult, like RV park that was like for seniors. And my dad was there for like more like a maintenance man. And we wound up moving back, and the owners were really nice to let us stay there. But my dad didn't want us growing up there. So while we were visiting our aunt and uncle, for like a weekend, my dad had moved the camper we lived in a 5th wheel. He had moved it to this 5-acre plot of land that he had already cleared like 3/4 of an acre. He put the camper on there, had some people, he had like a bunch of buddies come over. They built a deck next to the camper, so we didn't have to walk up on those rickety little metal stairs. We had like a big deck to walk up on. And when we drove by the RV park, and we're like, where are we going? He's like, I got to show you boys something. So we go down way down this road, Meridian, or I called it, we went up Graham Hill, and we turned right onto a road. We went way down this road. We turned another right. I can't remember what the names of the road were. We go all the way down to the end where it kind of like ended. And then there was a dirt road at the end of this road that we turned right onto. And the road kind of it dipped down like this, and then it leveled off, and it had like a little rise. It would go a little ways and it would drop down again. And, this happened like 2 or 3 times before we got to where our camper was, or I'll say our house. And, we pull up. I'm super excited. I'm like, what's going on? And my dad explains everything. I'm going to build a house here. This is ours, boys. We've got 5 acres. It's all woods. Have fun. Do whatever you want to do. Awesome. So, we're there a couple of months, and we had this huge storm hitting us this night. It was just a massive, think of the worst storm you could possibly have. Now you're in a 5th wheel. Okay. Me and my brother are sleeping up in the loft that's over the gooseneck. Okay. So that's where we're sleeping. Thunder, lightning. My dad had an anchor strapped down, had cement blocks placed underneath it to kind of build a foundation. And every time the thunder would boom, you would hear like the place rattle. Well, one of these big booms of thunder hit, and it felt like our camper did one of these numbers and then came down real heavy. It literally tilted like this, and I rolled off of my mattress onto the little area of the floor that was between mine and my brother's bed. And when we came back down with a crash, I jumped up on and I pulled open the window, or the curtain, to look out the window. And just as a flash of lightning hit, it was just a real quick flash. I saw something massive walk underneath this branch of a tree and then off into the woods. And I go, Dad, it was a Bigfoot. It was a Bigfoot. And my dad, he's like, shut up. Don't wake your brother up. Just shut up. And so I'm like, I know what I saw. He's like, go back to sleep. You didn't see no Bigfoot. So I'm laying there in bed. I'm afraid to get close to that window. So I kind of slept pretty much on the floor between my brother's and my mattress. Next morning, I wake up and I get my shoes and stuff on, and I go outside, and I'm looking around. I don't see nothing. I hear my dad come around. He's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "Dad, I'm telling you, Bigfoot hit the camper last night." He's like, "No, it did not." I said, "Dad, he tried to push it over." He's like, "No, it didn't." And I go, "Dad, it walked right underneath this branch." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I go, its head almost touched that branch." He's like, "No, it didn't." So to appease me, he goes and gets a tape measure and he starts taping it up. And he goes, "Tell me when to stop." And I go, "Stop." And he looks at the measurement. He's like, "No." He's like, "This is close to 9 feet tall." And I'm like, "That's what I saw." And I said, "It went right through those woods right over there." So we go walking over, and it had literally rained all night long. And there was just a bunch of, pine needles and, that type of stuff on the floor, on the ground. And so you could see there was like a disturbance, but you couldn't make a definite, like, there's a footprint, but you knew something had moved through there. And as I turned around to look, I go, "Dad, what did that then?" And there was a massive dent in part of the camper. And I looked at him and he looked at me and he's like, "Don't tell your brother." And then my brother magically appeared and goes, "Tell me what?" And before I could say anything, my dad goes, "Oh, a branch hit the camper last night." And my brother goes, "Oh, that's what that noise was." Now, fast forward to spring break. We're coming home from spring break. It is late. It's 11, 12 o'clock at night. We come off of the road, the main road, and as my dad's lights kind of, they're up here and they go down, I catch eye shine way up on the road, almost up by where our place is. And I go, "Dad, there's something up there in the road. Turn the brights on." He's like, No. It saw us coming. It'll hear us coming. It's going to leave." I go, "Dad, turn the brights on right now. There's something in the road." He's like, "Listen, I'm not going to turn the brights on. We're going to be fine." So my dad had a really super cool, like 1970 something Mustang. I don't know much about cars. I know it had louvers on the back of it. It was a 2-door, had like a long nose. It was super awesome. It had T-tops on it. And he had put some aftermarket driving lights on it, and he angled them out so we could see both sides of the road because my dad did not want to see a deer hit his car or him run into a deer or something like that. Because we had all kinds of wildlife, porcupine, coyotes, deer. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bear in there somewhere, and all the other little critters. But my dad did not want to have something hit his car. So as we're driving, we come back up the little rise and I see the eye shine again. I'm like, "Dad, it's right there. It's right there. See it right there, right there." He's like, Yeah, I see it." He goes, I'm not turning the brights off. It'll move. It's going to move." I'm like, "All right." So we drive a little ways. You start coming up this little rise. And that's when my dad hit those lights, the driving lights and his bright lights, and lit the entire front of us up like it was daylight. And she stood up and she kept standing up and kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, holy bad words. And she goes like this and she turns at the waist. I saw the palm of her hand. I could see the marks, like the lines in the palm of her hands. The hair was all hanging down. I saw her face. She had a human looking nose, but bigger, human looking lips. It looked like her upper lip was thinner. She had no hair on her face. She was a dark charcoal color, like, briquettes, like barbecue, like charcoal. When you light them, and they're not quite the white when they're really, but they're just getting to that. It's like in between that color, not quite white, but not black, more of a darker charcoal gray kind of color. Light covering of hair, thin hair on the breast area and stomach area, but everything else just long hair. Skin was black. And as soon as she started bringing her hand down like this, I jumped down into the floorboard of the car. I was sitting in the front seat of the car, the passenger seat. My dad, I looked up at my dad. My dad was just white knuckling, 10 and 2. He did not speed up. He did not slow down. He just kept going at the same speed. And I figured we were already past where we had seen her. So I kind of look up real quick kind of look out the window, and I see her standing in the wood line. And the color that I saw at first was like an amberish reddish color. But when I saw her standing in the wood line, because there was still a little bit of the light coming off of the direction of those driving lights, her eyes were black. I saw no whites of the eyes. Her eyes were black. My dad pulled into our driveway. He didn't even get a chance to stop the car. I was already jumping out of a moving car, ran up to the door of the house, unlocked the door, jumped in. Seconds later, I hear my dad's door shut. He comes up carrying my little brother, puts him up in his bed. I'm sitting on the couch on his bed, and I'm like, Dad, what was that? Dad, that was a Bigfoot. That was a Bigfoot. Did you see that? Dad, was that a Bigfoot? Dad, that was a Bigfoot. He's like, that's, you know what you saw. That's we just saw a Bigfoot. I told you. And I'm my dad's just like, you saw what you saw. We saw it. And the whole time he's doing this, he's getting food out of the cupboards and out of the refrigerator. And I'm looking at him like, what is he doing? And he takes this armload of food out. He puts it on his table out on the deck. Then I hear him get off of the deck, and I hear the other door of his car shut because I didn't shut it. Then I hear him coming around. He's got a ladder in hand. He puts the ladder up. Now, there's this pole at the end. If you're looking at the front of the camper and the front of the deck, on the back left corner, my dad had a large pole that went up that he had fastened to the deck with a wooden platform on top of it, because he was going to put a bird feeder up there, because my dad was an avid bird watcher. A lot of people don't know that about my dad. Even people who's known him, forever. But my dad loved watching birds. He kept meticulous notes on what birds were coming in, what time of year it was. Was it a male? Was it a female? He loved it. And so he put all this food, he climbed to the ladder, put all this food up on this platform. He comes down, goes underneath the sink, grabs a rag, and he pulls like this tube out of his back pocket, and he squirts this stuff into this rag, and he starts putting it all over this pole. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what is he doing? And when he comes back in, I go, Dad, what are you doing? And I go, why did you put that stuff on that pole? He's like, that so no animals get that food. And I don't know why I said it. I just said, oh, you mean like raccoons? And he goes, yeah, raccoons. Now, what I found out was he had greased the pole. And in my mind, he's doing it to prevent raccoons from climbing up there to get that food. I later came to the conclusion he did it because he wanted proof of something. So he goes, he puts the ladder up, he comes back in the house, he looks at me, I'm still sitting on his bed. He's like, do you want to sleep with me? I go, yes. So he gets ready for bed. I'm all ready for bed. He's sleeping between me and the door. I'm sleeping against the wall. And I remember it being around 1 o'clock-ish, because he had one of those old alarm clocks that had like an amber light behind the tiles that would flip. So it would be like, 116, then 117, and the 7 would flip up. So you'd see the 7. But it let off a little bit of ambient light so I can kind of see what was going on. And about 1 o'clock, I hear something heavy step up onto the deck, like massively heavy. You hear this groan and this crack. And I open my eyes and I look at my dad, and my dad's putting his finger to his lips, like telling me to be quiet. And I'm trying to ask him a question, and he's insistent, like this. And I kind of mouth to him, how many? And I remember him putting up the number 3. So I'm assuming he was thinking that there were 3 of them out there. Now, we'd only seen one a few hours earlier. When he did that, I heard and felt something run along the backside of the camper that I had my back resting up against that wall. And then I hear something grab a hold of the railing and pull itself up on to the deck. And I hear them walking around. And again, you guys, I cannot imitate it, but I heard something like something like that. I heard a vocalization, and it scared the crap out of me. I buried my face in my dad's shoulder. I'm trying to become the t-shirt that my dad's wearing because I'm so scared, and he's doing everything he can to pull me in, to make me feel safe, and I know I cried myself to sleep, and I woke up the next morning because I saw the sun coming in through the window on the door, and I got up and I walked out, and I climbed up on the railing of the deck. Now, the top of the railing is like 7 feet off the ground. And my dad used to get on me all the time because I would get on there and I'd do backflips off the deck. And he told me I was going to kill myself. And so I'm up on this railing and I'm looking and I can see there is nothing up there. Like all the food is gone. And so I jumped down and I'm like, Dad, it's all gone. It's all gone. And he comes out. He's like, you better not have been on that railing. And I go, Dad, look, the food's all gone. And he's looking. And as he's looking, he can see. He's like, oh my gosh, it's all gone. And I go and I start looking at this pole. And my dad got what he was looking for. You could see where something had grabbed this pole in multiple locations. But what I thought was really, really cool was something had taken its finger and dragged it all the way down to the pole, and then wiped the grease off on the railing. And I'm like, Dad, do you see this? Do you see this? And he's like, shut up. Shut up. Don't tell your brother. Don't wake up your brother. I don't need your brother knowing. He's going to be scared and da-da-da. And I'm like, Dad, oh my gosh, can you believe this? And he's like, just calm down, calm down. So now we're going to fast forward into the summer. So my dad and myself and my little brother, we loved fishing. That was like our thing. That was our bonding time. And I remember we were planning to go up near Mount Rainier. There was a lake up there that my dad knew about that had supposedly amazing trout. And my dad wanted to go fishing. But that Friday, he gets a call from work saying, hey, you got to come in for inventory. You're the receiving manager. You need to be there. And he's already ticked off. So he gets up early. He leaves. Me and my little brother are there by ourselves. Now, when you have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old unsupervised in the woods with no adults around, we're going to do stuff we're not supposed to be doing. And that's exactly what we were doing. We were listening to my dad's stereo. We were playing his records. We were drinking soda. We were just playing video games, just doing stupid stuff. And my dad was gone all day. And I remember hearing my dad pull up in the driveway. And I heard my dad do something that I've only heard him do 3 times in my lifetime. And he slammed his car door in anger. And I'm like, oh. And then all of a sudden he says my full name. First, middle, and last. And I'm like, uh-oh. Like, what? I'm doing a mad dash in my mind. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I did my chores. I'm doing good in school. What did I do? Summer break, I did good. What am I doing? And he comes up. He's like, do you want to tell me what happened to the burn barrel? I go, what do you mean? What happened to the burn barrel? And he goes, yeah, what happened to the burn barrel? And I don't know what you're talking about, Dad. I didn't burn any trash today. He's like, well, didn't you want to tell me where the burn barrel is? I go, what are you talking about? Now he's like kind of accusing me to something. And now I'm starting to give it back to my dad, you know? And my mind is telling me, listen, man, you need to shut up because you're digging yourself a hole that you're not going to be able to get out of. And but my mouth and my pride just keeps going. And he's like, why don't you come and show me what's going on here? And I go, what are you talking about? So he walks out off the deck and I follow him. And as soon as we get around the corner over to where the burn barrel is, I look at my dad. I go, hey, where's the burn barrel? And he's like, that's what I'm talking about. And now he's like, he's livid and he's gritting his teeth and he's doing this. My dad got his finger cut off at the first knuckle in a car door. And so he had this nub and he would point that nub at you and it would scare you because it was like getting poked with like a steel rod and he'd poke you in the chest with it. You mean this? And I'm like, oh, you know, and now I'm getting mad, you know, I'm older now. I'm a little stronger than I used to be. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, he's like, what did you do with it? I go, Dad, I didn't do nothing. It's a 55-gallon drum. I don't even weigh 100 pounds. I didn't move this thing. And he goes, well, this didn't walk away by itself. And I go, I bet that Bigfoot did it. He's like, bull crap. Bigfoot did not did it. He goes, you better find that burn barrel. I go, where am I supposed to look? He goes, I don't know. I'm looking over here. You look wherever else. So something pulled me to that area where I'd seen months earlier that thing walk off into the woods. What I still to this day believe was a Sasquatch. And as I walked about 30 feet into the woods, I find the burn barrel. The burn barrel was not just placed in there. It looked like the burn barrel was picked up and thrown into the woods. And so I yelled at my dad. I go, Dad, I found it. He's like, you found what? I go, what do you think I'm out here looking for? And now I knew I was done. He said my name, my full name again, told me to get my butt out there. And I knew that I was done. All my mulligans were already played. I'm done. So I come out there and now we're going at it. And he's like, I'm telling you. I'm like, Dad, I'm telling you the Bigfoot did it. He's like, I'm telling you. I go, Dad, I'm sick of this. And he's like, listen to me. You better go in. You better get that. I go, Dad, I can't. I need your help. I can't do it myself. So we move it back. And as we're walking back, he says, listen, you don't tell your brother anything. And again, it's like magic words, like abracadabra. My brother shows up and he says, tell me what? And I tell him, Bobby, before my dad could say anything, I go, a Bigfoot threw the burn barrel in the woods. And then my dad hauled off and smacked the snot out of me. And my brother, like, no sooner did the sound of the smack disappear, my brother goes, well, I don't think it was one of the small ones that I've seen. And we're like, whoa, what? What do you mean small ones? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I see two small ones all the time. He goes, especially when we're cooking out or we're playing music or whatever. He goes, I see them walk along the tree line and they go underneath this tree and they watch us. And we're like, wait, what? He goes, come here, I'll show you. And so we walk across the yard and he takes us right to this trees where it's got some really low hanging branches. And he goes, yeah, they hide in here. They sit in here and they watch us. And I go, what? So we go in there and you could see where something continuously has sat down in there or laid in there because everything was just really smashed down. And he goes, yeah, I've thrown baseballs and tennis balls out here, but they just keep them. They never give them back. And we're like, what the heck? And he goes, yeah, he goes, I was going out to the tree fort one time and I was just coming around the turn to where our tree fort was. And I saw something, one of them jump out of the tree house and take off. And he said the way it landed, it didn't like stick the landing, stand up and take off running. He goes, it's like it just like hovered down into a dead run, like at a dead sprint as soon as it took off. And so, we talked about that more and more. My dad was involved in a really bad car accident the following October. We had to move back to Tacoma, and my dad lost the property. He sold the camper because the new people who owned the property wanted it off there, so he sold the camper. We were there to clean it out the following spring, and so we were not there from October to like April. And when my brother, my aunt, and my dad were looking at things, my dad couldn't do a lot of stuff because his arm was still in a sling. His clavicle was completely just tore up out of his super bad car accident. And so I'd already gotten everything I'd wanted when we first left. And when I was walking around outside, I was sad because I didn't want to leave this property. But I noticed every single window had something like something was looking in the window. Now I was thinking, well, maybe it's somebody seeing if people live here. Maybe they could break in and steal whatever. But that would not explain those prints, like someone was looking in up on the gooseneck windows that are like 12, 15 feet high in the air. That's what we saw. And that was my first sighting.
Wow. That's amazing. The detail and everything. And, I'm really sorry that you lost your dad like that. I have a special place. My son's dad passed away when he was 18 months, and it does leave a hole in your heart. So I'm just sending lots of love, and I appreciate you going through all that, Danno, because I know it's not easy to do with everything. I mean, but what a beautiful, beautiful time it sounds like that you had with him, and such a connection to share. I mean, that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think my dad knew something. I think my dad, because at one time I forgot to tell this part. After my dad had put all the food up and greased the pole, my dad was a smoker, so he'd always smoke outside on the deck. We had a butt can out there, and I remember him going out and he was smoking a cigarette, and I heard him kind of talking, and I heard him say something like, we saw you, we know you saw us. These are my boys. We're a family. These are my children. We don't mean any disrespect or no harm. This food up here is for you. Please don't hurt or scare my boys. And when my dad came back in, I asked him what he was doing, and he goes, "Oh, I was praying." And I'm like, "I didn't hear you say amen." And he goes, "Oh, amen." But I think my dad knew. I think my dad knew what they were. I think he knew more about it than I did from just seeing the Patterson Gimlin film or reading that book, from maybe encounters he might have had that he never spoke about up in Alaska. So
we've got several questions, Dan.
okay.
New England Roadie wants to know, are Bigfoot or Dogman or Pell Crawlers or Puckwudgie ever mentioned in the Bible?
Not to my knowledge.
They are, but not by those words. They're not listed as a Bigfoot or a Dogman, but
right.
They are in the Bible as the beasts of the field. That's what it's talking about when it says the beasts of the field is the cryptids that we have not seen or that we have seen.
Okay.
But here's some more. Ninja wants to know, besides Bigfoot and Dogman, are there other cryptids that you think exist and may have encountered?
I know there are other ones that exist. I have not personally encountered them, but the Kushtaka, my dad has encountered it. Skinwalkers, I believe those exist. The Jersey Devil, I believe exists. I believe Mothman exists. You have that lizard man encounter in South Carolina. Rakes, Pell Crawlers, I know those exist. I personally know those exist. Gargoyles, I have to see one. I have seen gargoyles, but in the traditional sense of them being made of stone and on churches and buildings. I've seen a lot of them over in Europe.
I've had reports of live gargoyles.
I haven't.
So,
I'd like to hear it. I would love for someone to come on my show and say, kind of give me an idea. Because again, I'm not saying that they don't exist. They couldn't exist. I just haven't encountered it. I haven't heard firsthand accounts. So I don't have an opinion on those.
William Torres asked, do you think that dogmen are the spawn of fallen angels?
No, I don't. I don't think Bigfoot or Nephilim. I don't think they're related in any way, shape, or form. I don't.
Well, here's a statement from Nighthawk. Danno, remember, if the eyes have no tears, then the soul would have no rainbow.
That's deep.
That is deep. And Nighthawk is deep. He's got a lot of good information. I don't know if you've had him on your show yet. He's going to be on Pop's panel later on in a couple months.
Okay.
But, I've heard him speak on a lot of things, and he knows a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, I'd like to talk to him.
But that's the only ones that I had. Did you have any more starred, Coley?
I just had from New England. See Bigfoot, be Jacob from the Jacob and am I saying this right?
Esau story.
I don't have my glasses on. I apologize. As Lori pointed out, well, I had a pair, but I don't know. I got to go check my freezer, maybe like Roger suggested. But yeah,
Esau was a giant, and he was very hairy. So who knows?
So was Goliath.
Yeah, so was Goliath. It could be from any of those, but they are, like I said earlier, they're people. They're just a different race of people.
Yeah. Really, really weird thing. I had an interview lined up with a gentleman who had like family knowledge of the Kandahar giants, and all scheduled, ready to go. I said, "Hey man, are you ready for, are you ready for Wednesday's interview?" And he goes, "Man, I've been struggling to figure out how to try to tell you I can't do it." I go, "Okay, yeah, not a problem, man." He's like, "Not that I don't want to, because I definitely want to." He goes, "I've been contacted and told to keep my mouth shut."
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I'm like, "All right, not a problem."
Well, you were telling me earlier that you had seen a UFO.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why don't you tell us about that?
Nothing's
big into UFOs.
I know. Nothing.
He'd never be able to guess, right, Danno?
Exactly. Nothing super, super big. I mean, I have no problem telling. I can't tell you the exact address. I just Google mapped it like last week, and we lived in a townhome that was on a lake called Long Lake in Lacey, Washington, which is near Tumwater in Olympia. My dad had the opportunity. We were living in Tacoma, but he had the opportunity to buy this townhome. And I didn't want to move down there. Had no desire to move down there. I was in Tacoma. That's where all my friends were. That's where a girl that I really, really liked was. I wanted to stay in Tacoma. I'm a North End boy, That's where I grew up, on the North End of Tacoma. And but my dad took us down there, and yeah, it was on a lake. It was awesome. Our place kind of looked like backed up to the lake. We had a nice long backyard right down in the lake. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. So go to this new school and meet this girl. And yeah, it was, I'm telling you, she was a beaut. And
I was wondering at first if you were talking about. That's hilarious.
I'm telling you, and this is the whole like scenario of girl from the right side of the tracks meeting the boy from the wrong side of the tracks. We didn't come from money. My dad was a 9-to-5er, worked a ton of overtime. I worked in landscaping, things like that. So I didn't have a lot of money, but her family was stupid rich. And it was like opposites attract. And we started hanging out. We started dating. And she came over, and this was like right around October. So it wasn't super, super cold, but it wasn't warm. It was like perfect sweatshirt weather, sweatpants and sweatshirt, or jeans and sweatshirt. And so we decided she was going to come over, and she decided we're going to go down to the dock, and we were going to stargaze. That's my story. That's what I'm sticking to. And so we were stargazing, and I kind of pushed myself up, and I looked at her, and she's like, "What?" And I go, "Do you feel that?"
Oh God, Danno.
No,
I know.
No, y'all need to get your minds out the gutter. And I look at her, and I go, "Do you feel that?" She's like, "Yeah, I think I do." And I go, "No, like, do you?" And I said, "Look at my arms." And she go, there's a light on the end of the boat dock. And I said, "Just look." And I held it up, and you could barely see, like, all the hair on my arms was standing up. And I said, it felt like static electricity was like super, super thick in the air. And I'm like, "Do you feel that?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, you feel like the static." She's like, "Yeah, I feel that." And then I heard like a really low, like kind of like something was moving, like it was a low hum, like of an engine. And I'm looking around, I'm like, what is going on? And then I look over to my left. Now, in this area that I looked used to be tons of woods. Now it's nothing but houses. And I saw this light pop on, and this light slowly moved back and forth. I'm watching this thing slowly move, like it was like kind of like it was scanning stuff. And I'm like, "What the heck is that?" And I'm looking at it, and she's like, "Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here." Because as it looked like it was getting closer, it just, the static electricity is intensified. So I grab her hand, and we start running back up to my house. We come running in through the back door, the sliding glass door, shut it, lock it, run upstairs into my bedroom. Now, my bedroom was a loft, and I had like these shutters over the windows that I could open up, and I could look down on the living room or the dining room. But I also had windows straight ahead that I could look right out to the lake. I could see right out to where the dock was. And I'm seeing this light scan over, goes over my backyard, goes all the way down, and it gets right over towards where the dock is, and then the light shuts off. But now you feel this humming, like this low hum. The best way I can describe it, you guys, anybody here has seen Star Wars, and you see when the big, like, Imperial Star Destroyers slowly move through space, and you hear what's supposed to be the sound of their engines as they slowly, come into frame, even though there's no noise in space. That's kind of what I heard. And as I'm looking, all of a sudden I see these lights, and something's coming into view. I'm looking out the window, and it starts moving into view, and it's getting bigger, and it's getting bigger, and it's getting bigger, and it's getting bigger. This thing is honestly as wide as a football field, and you can see little lights through it, and it gets right over the water, and then straight up, it's gone. It moved so incredibly fast. I have never seen anything move that fast in my entire life. Now, I grew up in military families. My first stepdad, even though him and I didn't really get along, he would take me to air shows. I've seen the SR-71. I've seen the U-2 spy plane. I've seen every type of jet there's possible. This did not move like any aircraft I've ever seen. There was no helicopter noises. There was no fixed wing aircraft. This was nothing. This is pre-drone. This is my junior year. So this is like 1988, 89. And so we both looked at each other, and she's like, "I want to go home." I said, "Okay, let me know when you get there." Because she drove. And I go, let me know when you get there. She's like, I'm not going home alone. I'm like, okay, I'll ride with you, but then I'll walk back. She's like, you're not walking back by yourself. I go, what are we going to do? And I said, okay. I said, here's the deal. I'll deal with your mom and dad in the morning. You sleep in the bed. I'll sleep on the floor. 100%. That's the honest to God's truth. Nothing crossed. 100% truth. I was a gentleman the entire night. We woke up early, went back to her house, and her mom and stepdad were pissed. And we explained to him what was going on. We told him everything. He was a helicopter pilot. He had friends that were out at the local airport or whatever it was out there in Tumwater. And he called them. He called the person that he knows up in the tower or whatever. He goes, hey, did you guys get reports of anything in the sky last night around this time and this time? And the guy starts checking logs or whatever. He's like, nope, we didn't have any reports. And we both swore up and down what we saw. And he's like, okay. He goes, next time, you guys call us. So yeah, that's my UFO encounter. But I do have another. I didn't have the encounter, but I have a cool UFO story that you may have seen on was it Unsolved Mysteries? I think it was covered on Unsolved Mysteries, that Robert Stack show.
Mm-hmm.
This happened. Go ahead.
I was going to ask if it was Tom Reed or Tom Warner. If they one of those stories.
No, this one happened overseas.
Oh.
And so this is why I'm bringing this story up, because this happened around the same time frame. Okay, I had a prior podcast called The Paranormal Narrative, where I talked with people about UFOs and paranormal and things like that. Some weird stuff started happening, so I deleted the entire channel. But I had this one guest on who's German. She was in Belgium at the time when this happened, because it happened in Belgium. And she was telling me, yes, I was visiting a friend in Belgium, and I walk out of the back door to smoke a cigarette, and she goes, I look out, and I see this aircraft, and she described a triangle-looking aircraft. She goes, it was probably 500 yards away from her and about 300 to 400 yards up in the air. And she goes, I was watching it, and all of a sudden 2 beams shot out of it, and they started crossing back and forth. And that's when I walked back inside, and I told my friends that there's a UFO out here. And they come running out to look, and they saw it just as it started moving off. Now, here's the cool thing. I asked her, I go, how long did you witness this? Like, did you see it just for a second? She was like, long enough to smoke a cigarette. And I go, so what, about 5 to 7 minutes? She's like, yes, 5 to 7 minutes. Now, here's what's the cool part about this, you guys. A Belgian Air Force base scrambled 2 fighter jets to intercept this thing. Another Air Force base in Germany that was close to the area also scrambled 2 jets to intercept. That base in Germany was a base that I believe I was stationed at. I think they didn't come up with the base, but the proximity of where it was at, the types of planes that they said were scrambled, coincides with everything that was at the base that I was stationed at just 2 years later. So UFOs are awesome. I love UFOs. But
They're good. They are. And they seem to go hand in hand, though. There's a lot of reports of where, Bigfoot sightings and UFOs. And you guys were talking about it behind stage. I asked you if if you thought that they were connected. And you said not in the same way maybe people are trying to connect them, but they might be experimenting on them also. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think... I've heard stories, not personally, I've heard them, through other people, that, I saw a Bigfoot come out of a UFO, or I saw a Bigfoot run up to a UFO and climb inside. Bigfoot are used as vessels for aliens to travel around in. I don't know. I don't think that, and people say, well, it's just coincidental, or is it true that whenever there's a Bigfoot sighting, there's a UFO sighting? or there's these lights. Now, they're really getting into a whole nother spectrum of cryptids. I mean, the subject, I mean, we're really, really talking about an alien coming down, dropping a Bigfoot off, or a Bigfoot running out of the bush up to the aircraft to get back on board. Do I think that people have been abducted by aliens? 100%. If a human being has been abducted by an alien, a horse has, a dog has, a cat has, a Bigfoot has, whatever else has been on there, it has. That's what I believe. And why do I believe it? I don't know. I just believe it that that's possible. I just don't think that a Bigfoot is an alien. I think a Bigfoot has been an inhabitant of Earth as long as life has been evolved into what it is now. That makes sense.
Yeah, and behind, just to take it a step further, you were talking about how you thought that they were capable of so much more. You said you just had a recent show. Do you kind of want to go into some of that?
Absolutely. So I don't know if any of you guys out there, and seriously, if you don't know who Scott Carpenter is, please look him up and prepare to have your mind blown. Now, unfortunately, Scott Carpenter's passed away. He passed away, I believe, in 2024, before I started my channel. But Scott Carpenter was on my radar, and I watched some of his stuff. But what happened is I got a chance to talk with Travis Carpenter, his son. Amazing episodes. If you guys haven't already checked it out, please go over to my channel. Check it out. It's one of my favorite episodes I've done. Travis is such a nice person. He's such a genuine person. And he shared some photos of things that his dad has captured on film and on video. Now, before that episode, if you guys would ask me, well, are they capable of coming out of portals or interdimensional travel or whatnot, I'd have said no. They're 100% flesh and blood. That's all there is to it. You know, if a cat's a cat, a dog's a dog, then that's what it is. These pictures, I'm going to preface this. I have gotten hundreds of pictures sent to me. And out of those hundreds of pictures, I've had a few, man, this is a portal. Check it out. Now, the whole picture of the thing is probably this big, but they're sending me a zoomed in screenshot of a portal. And there's no context to it. I just see this blurry thing. I don't know what it is. Travis shared with me a picture. And when I say this picture, it's amazing. And all of this is pre-AI. All of this is pre-AI. This picture, this was captured on one of Scott Carpenter's rear-facing cameras. As he's walking away, and this is a video camera, as he's walking away, this portal appears. Now, David Politis owns the rights to this video. I would love to see the video. I've only seen one still picture of it, but the way Travis described it, his dad was walking away down this path, and this portal opens up, and something is walking out of this portal. From everything that I understand, it was a Bigfoot. And you can see an object coming out of the portal.
Wow.
You can see an object coming out of the portal. It blew my mind. I had to sit there and really think about everything that I thought I knew. Before, I would always tell you guys, no, they're not interdimensional. They can't walk in and out of portals. I've even had people who've done remote viewing and said that they have seen them coming in and out of portals. I don't know. But I will tell you that I am about 90%, 100% flesh and blood. Now, now, and 10% there's something else. Yeah, Daryl Denton's a good friend of mine. I love Daryl Denton. I believe there is something else to these creatures. Number one, they are the masters of their environment. I think their hair follicles, their hair, the way the makeup of their hair is, I think that has something to do with them, to where they're able to camouflage themselves better. They're able to just blend in with their environment. I think their hair may be able to pick up some type of pigmentation, not like collect it, but kind of move with it, if that makes sense, kind of blend in. I think that they have the ability to make their eyes glow. I don't think it's if you flash a flashlight, they're going to get that eye shine. I think they have the ability to self-illuminate their eyes. Now, from another guest that I had, where she has video of a Sasquatch literally changing its eye color from yellow to green to amber to reddish orange, back to green and amber, all in the same video. It's amazing. So yeah, I definitely think there is something else to them. Do I think they're supernatural? Yes. Something that big is able to move that fast, is that strong. I mean, the thing is, here's what it is. I look at my son. Okay, my son's 20. He's going to be 24 in August. His whole life has been nothing but sports. This kid can tell you who plays where, what they play, how fast they are, what they ran the 40 in. He has been to so many sporting events. He has seen massive human beings move at incredible speeds. In 2001, he's my stepson, but I've known him since he's 10. He's my kid. He's coming back from his dad's house with his fiance, girlfriend at the time. And it's about 10 minutes down the road from us. And he's driving along and he sees something. It's about 11 o'clock at night. He sees something step out of a wood line onto a bike path on his side of the road, so the left-hand side. And he kind of slows down as he blows by it. He kind of slows down. And he looks, he doesn't see it. So as he's getting ready to go, whatever reason, he looks in his rearview mirror before he steps off the brakes. So the back of his car is illuminated as he's slowing down, and he sees this thing speeding up behind him. And he takes off. He slams on the gas. He takes off. And he said, I go, how fast were you going when you started slowing down, when you noticed it up behind you? And he said, I was going about 50 miles an hour. I go, how close was it? He goes, it was within 10 feet of the back of my car. And I go, what was it? He goes, it's what he would not say it's a Bigfoot. He said, it's what you talk about. And I go, what else do you know? He goes, I've never seen anything bigger than that. He goes, it was bigger than Shaquille O'Neal, and it was incredibly fast. He's like, Dan, I've never seen anything that fast in my life. Wow. And he said, as soon as he stepped on the gas, it made he said it cut like it was coming at him, and it just went straight in a 90-degree angle off into a field. And he said you saw it running across a field. It covered this field in seconds. So that's another example of something so huge having this incredible ability to increase its speed, have incredible strength. I mean, there's videos out there. You see, there's one where I want to say it's up in Canada maybe, where these guys are up on this ridge and they're zooming, and this thing's like 5 miles away, and they're zooming in, and you see this thing that is going up a mountainside at a 45-degree angle and like 10 feet of snow, and it's just flying through the snow like it's this nothing, you know? So yeah, there's definitely more to them.
They're so fast that I had one cross the road down in Alabama so fast that it was just a black streak. I mean, just literally a black streak.
The one I saw in New Jersey when I was stationed at Fort Dix, New Jersey for for more training for my job as a police officer. This thing, the road was probably 40 to 45 feet wide, enough for 2 deuce and a halves to drive side by side with no problem. This thing bound in one jump, like at a standing jump, bound one into the middle of the road, and then boom, off the other side of the road, and took off at a dead run through the woods. I saw that happen. It was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night when I was out doing a patrol.
I had one chase me, and my speedometer said I was doing 53 mile an hour, and it was staying with me, and I couldn't even get away from it.
Nope. I had a guest on. This is a dogman encounter. She lives in Iowa. She was going about 45, 50 miles an hour down this road, and she saw something on the passenger side of the road sticking its head up out of a ditch that's like 6, 7 feet deep. And she said she saw it from the chest up. And as she passed it, she watched this thing come up out of this ditch. And she's driving, like I said, 45, 50 miles an hour. And she never slowed down. She kept going. She gets this feeling that something's watching her. She looks over, and this thing is running alongside her minivan, looking in her passenger window.
Yeah.
And she said this thing had the face of a hyena, like the head of a hyena. And this thing was... And she says, I go, what did you do? She goes, I just stepped on it and went as fast as I could. Hopefully my van would not have, the engine wouldn't have blown up, you know? So, I mean, what do you guys do with these things? I don't know. According to Joe Barger, you can kill a dog man because he killed one.
But you got to have a perfect shot.
He said he hit it in the eye.
Yeah.
And the load that he was shooting, I know exactly what that load is. So I have a gun.
I've met Joe and talked to him personally and heard the story face to face, not just on the internet.
Joe is an amazing person. I really, really love talking with him. I'm going to have him on again for some of his Bigfoot encounters. So
I'm glad you said that. I need to get a hold of him, get him on Pop's panel too.
Yeah.
I forgot all about Joe.
Yeah. I see someone says, I remember that a police car came from many years ago. It cleared the road in 3 steps. I had a guest on who was a sheriff's deputy, and he got a call, a 911 call. He responded to a 911 call of a vicious animal attack. So as he's going en route to this area, because he patrolled this area, he knew the area very well. And as he's coming across this area, he says this massive white thing crossed the road in front of him, ran up this embankment. He said he stopped his car, got out of his vehicle, and started walking up behind, following this thing up this embankment. And when he got to the top of the embankment, he said this thing stopped and turned around. And this thing had blood on its maw, on its chest, on its hands. And he said it just looked at him. And it was a dog man. It was a white dog man. He said it looked like a husky. And he said this thing looked at him and then turned around, gave him this look like, you're not doing nothing, turned around and just ran off across the field. So he gets back in his car after he kind of shakes off what he just seen, and he responds to the area. And there's a group of people. And these people, it was the white thing. We saw the white thing. It killed my dog. And this old black gentleman comes out. And he's like, it killed my dog. I heard my dog barking in the backyard, and I looked out the back window, and my dog jumped at him, and he caught my dog in midair, and he just went like this with his dog, and he done killed my dog. And then he jumped the fence, and he was trying to get away, and some other dogs went after him. He killed them dogs too. And these dogs that this dog man took out were pit bulls.
Yeah. Now, not all dog men are black, just like Bigfoot aren't all black. The dog man here on my place is tan, the color of a deer.
I've heard that.
I thought I was looking at a deer.
The one that was sighted 9 miles from my house is the same color as a deer.
That's what this is. I looked up and it's about 150 yards in front of me, and I said, man, what's a deer doing and standing there looking at me? I was on the mower.
Yep.
It wasn't a deer. It was my dog man.
Yeah. It's crazy. Hey, Coley, if I send you a picture in Messenger, would you be able to share it on your show?
Sure. I'll go grab it right now.
You
What
know,
account are you sending it to? The ColeyUFO or ColeyUFO?
where do I normally Coley, your last name?
Okay. I'll
Okay.
go and grab it.
Yeah, let me send it to you. This is the picture of, hold on a second here. This is a picture of the dog man. I got this off of the report. There is a video attached to it, but I couldn't find the video. And this is kind of, I zoomed in on it enough to where it wouldn't look like blurry. This is about as clear as you're going to get. It is, again, this happened in Forest Lake, Minnesota, which is literally 9 miles from my house.
There's you a good question, Danno.
Sure.
Well, if I saw a dog man, what do you recommend I do? What's my course of action? That's from Spider Bite.
Spider Bite, does it see you? Yes or no? Let's talk about the scenario. Are you just coming up on it and it does not know you're there? Because if it doesn't know you're there, back away very quickly. If it does see you, back away very slowly. Get to an area to where you can get out of there. That's it. I would leave the area as soon as possible.
Do not run, whatever you do.
Nope. Don't run.
And don't turn around and walk away. Just start backing up and say, I'm not here to bother you. I'll leave. I'm in your territory. I'll leave.
Yep. If it does not see you, don't say a word. Just slowly back away and get out of there.
It'll see you.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, on the outside chance that it doesn't, don't say a word. But if it does see you, just like Pop said, hey, I'm sorry. I'm leaving. There's no reason. I'm minding my business.
Well, there's people assume and heard stories that all dog men are bad. They aren't. They're just like us. They're just like Bigfoot. There is some rogue, but the majority of them don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
If they were all bad, none of us would be here.
No.
I've had them come up in camp down there at Dogman Ranch, not 20 foot from me, just stand there and watch us. And it wasn't just me there. There was 10 people there.
Yeah. Yeah. And tomorrow. Yeah. I've had a guest on who I think she's in Nova Scotia. I know she's in Canada and she's on the east side of Canada. And she has families living on her property. She has seen them. She has seen the pups running around playing in her yard. And I go, are you sure they're not coyotes? Or she's like, no. They're rolling around. You think they are. Then they stand up on their hind legs and they run back off into the woods when they know you see them.
I've got 3 of them here.
Gosh.
So I knew that one was here, but now that my clan is not here for a while, though, I've got 3 dogmen here watching over me.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's so many accounts that they're very aggressive, but then there's also accounts where they check you out and they leave you alone. They don't have an issue. Now, I don't know what the whole reason was behind Joe Barger's. I mean, we both know what he says. You know, he was contacted and said, you killed one of our assets. You know, okay, assets for what? What is it doing? And I thought it was really funny that when he asked those 2 people, they were like, we were watching 2 bears fight. Come on, man. Yeah. There it is.
You can see it in there.
Now,
and I've got a picture of a Bigfoot with 2 dogmen behind it watching.
Really? So let me tell you about the story about this. So this was a couple of years ago. I want to say it was right before COVID, maybe. So I want to say 2017, 2018, maybe. A lady and her daughters were driving down this road, and they saw these deer. There was a bunch of deer in this field, and as they were kind of slowing down, they noticed this on the edge of the tree line. And so they stopped and they looked at it, and they said they watched the ears twitch. They watched it turn its head and looked at them, but it didn't really give them any attention like you would think, because it was more interested in those deer out in the field than it was them. And I've seen the video multiple times. And the two little girls are standing out with their mom and they're talking about it. You hear the girls talking, and that's when it looks over, it looks at them, it twitches its ear. So yeah, that is probably one of the best pictures of a potential dog man that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've heard that account too. And yeah, it was watching the deer. It was waiting for them to leave so it could go get a deer for supper.
Probably.
It also, I know a lot of people don't believe it, but what it was doing, it wanted that deer because it was wanting to take it to its pups.
So you know about this story?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find those pictures that T-Carp sent me.
And then
here. Oh yeah, I got them.
I've got the gift. I not only feel where they're at. Sometimes I don't see them. I feel that they're there, but they also talk to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Coley, I'm going to send you one more picture. And this is kind of what made me take a look at what Bigfoot could truly be. And the story is behind that photo that I just sent you is that the further away he got, the more it materialized, the more it started coming out into view.
Yeah.
The more he walked away. So
they do cloak.
Yeah, I heard. I don't believe that they cloak in the sense of, say, like the predator. I think it has something to do with their hair that they're able. That's what I believe. Again, I haven't seen them cloak in the sense of the predator.
Well, see, I didn't believe in cloaking either.
Yeah,
until I actually saw it right here in my backyard.
Really? Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it was. It should have been right there in plain view, shaking that tree limb. There was no wind whatsoever.
Oh, that's crazy.
Barely see.
There it is.
It looked kind of like that right there.
You guys,
you could just barely see that there was something there. It was cloaked.
Yeah,
and that's when I started believing that they would cloak, that they could cloak. And it's in the way their vibrations. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's the way they're in their vibrations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look at what Truth JT says. And he's right. You remember we were talking before backstage.
Yeah.
We used to have the same abilities that they have. But we lost them through technology and being dumbed down by you know who.
Yeah. You guys, so this is the picture that really kind of made me take a really good look at what is possible with the whole, Bigfoot and what their capabilities are. And when I look at this picture, again, you can see everything around what automatically pulls you into the center of the picture. Now, people say, "Oh, this is AI. This is Photoshopped." It's already been proven not to be Photoshopped. This is pre-AI. I mean, legitimate. Even the most archaic part of AI, this is before that. What you're looking at, Jay, is this is a portal that's opening up on a trail that Scott Carpenter captured on one of his rear-facing cameras. As he's walking away, this portal opens up, and this is a Bigfoot stepping out. Now, this is only a screenshot that was sent, but people say that they've seen this video, this thing that you could clearly see it almost in the center of this portal. This thing, as it's walking out, gets clearer and clearer and clearer until it absolutely manifests itself. So, again, I would love to see. It's on one of David Politis's videos. So I'm going to be doing a deep dive and checking that stuff out. And I'm trying to find another picture that he sent me that I'm telling you, this photo is just amazing. That let me see here.
So for some of us who doesn't like, can you point out exactly, because I've looked at paranormal, I've looked at UFO, but tell me exactly what we're looking at. So people who maybe like me are not exactly sure. I don't want to miss it.
No, sure. So if you guys, first let's look at the entire picture. We see the trees. Okay, we see the pathway. If you look straight into the middle of this picture, you'll see like a little abnormality. I'm saying that wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. It looks like it's distorted. You'll see a distortion.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. That's the portal.
Oh, okay. So where it looks like it's like a circle, like it almost looks like a tunnel going in there.
Yep, exactly. Okay. And then if you look kind of like down and then to the right of that circle, you see a form. Yeah, it looks like a white form. Now people say, "Oh, that's a crawler. That's a crawler. That's a dogman." It's neither.
Oh, see, I was looking at the black thing around the white shadow. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So as he was walking away, now this is all captured on like one of his rear facing, honestly, like a Sony handheld camera, Handycam. He had it facing in the rear, to the rear of him. And as he walked away, this thing was materializing as he was walking away. So that is an amazing picture. Let's see here. I'm trying to find
what it actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a tombstone.
Okay. Is that a cryptid or is it an actual tombstone?
It looks like an actual tombstone, and something came out of that tombstone to come through the portal.
Yeah, it's really eerie when you start looking at that. And the one side, if you look off to the left, it's like you can see a lot right in there.
I'm going to see if I can send you this one too. This is an amazing picture.
I'm like you. I'd like to see that whole video because it looks like something's coming out of that tombstone is what it looks like.
Yeah. I don't see a tombstone. I see arms. I see legs. I don't see a tombstone, which is amazing. But the next picture that I sent her, you guys, this is another one that was taken by Scott Carpenter. And this was taken with just a regular camera, a regular film camera. It might have been one of his video cameras as well. I think it was a video camera, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to think about it. Yeah, I think it was a video camera. And again, I think it was a rear-facing one. And when you guys see this one is amazing as well. It's probably one of the best ones that I've seen of a Sasquatch. Okay, so what we got here, you guys, the box is blowing up. The image that's in the circle. This is coming again, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. This is taken again from a rear-facing camera that Scott Carpenter. It's one of his methods that he used. If you guys know who Harley Owens is, Harley Owens is also does the exact same thing. He is getting that from Scott Carpenter. He loves Scott Carpenter. He's trying to follow in Scott Carpenter's footsteps and continue on his work. Now, what we're seeing here is if you look to the left where the circle is, you see the bush, you see something popping its head up. This is a blown up version in the square of what is in the circle. What you see is you see the pupils, you see the head, the brow ridge, you see the bridge of the nose. And what looks like to me is it's taking its hand and it's trying to push some of the leaves or branches out of the way. So we're getting the back of part of its fingers. You see the dark part. You see it looks like it's its nails and then its fingers down.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow. So what exactly do you think that is? Or what does he exactly think that is?
That's a Sasquatch.
That's a Sasquatch?
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
white
Albino.
Sasquatch. Yep, that's a white Sasquatch.
Wow.
I mean, you can see its nostril. You see the bridge of its nose.
Yeah.
You see its cheekbone area. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's one of the greatest pictures that I've ever had the privilege of having in my collection of evidence.
How is he able to get so low?
The Sasquatch?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's probably on his knees. He's probably on his knees. Now, I don't know if this is, say, a 10-footer or 9-footer. This could be a younger juvenile. It could be a 5 to 6.5-footer. Who knows?
Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'd say that was a juvie.
Yeah, I would agree as well. But you guys, this is one of the perks of being a host in this career field. And again, I want to let everybody know I am a bigger fan of yours than you guys are of mine. When you come on my show to tell me your encounter, honestly, because when I do it, I have you guys front and center. I put the camera on you, I go off camera, I mute my mic, and I sit like this. And I listen to your entire story. I write down notes, and I'm like this the whole time. Oh, no way. And I love hearing your stories. I want to get a little taste of it, but I don't want to know the whole thing because I'm such a fan of these encounters. And I'm not meaning it to be disrespectful if you've had a horrible, scary encounter. It just makes me understand and realize that I've had some pretty crazy encounters myself, and there's other people out there, and I can relate with you. That's what I try to do with all my guests. I try to find some type of common ground other than, say, just a Bigfoot or a dogman sighting. I try to find a common ground so I can relate with you and understand and ask better questions and try to help the conversation along and things like that. So, I really, really enjoy speaking with everybody.
Oh, that can be. I agree with you 1000%. And you've been wonderful tonight. I've been sitting back in just awe over all this and the pictures on top of it. I mean, it's absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And we call it a story, but it's not. It's your testimony. Pops caught himself earlier. But as a therapist, we always say everybody tells, it's your truth. So we really appreciate you coming on. And I mean, absolutely, I'd love to do a part 2. I mean, this has been
I'm
fantastic.
down. You both know how to get a hold of me, and I would love to come. I'm a big fan of your show. I'm a big fan of you, Pop. I just learned about you, and I quickly became a fan of yours.
Isn't Pop's great? Yeah,
he is. You're fantastic, and I can't wait to have you on the show. Can I plug a couple of things if possible?
Absolutely. That's where. Yeah, definitely. Please.
Cool. So, number one, I'm not going to give myself a plug yet. If you guys anybody is near Arkansas, North Little Rock, Arkansas, this coming Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., I will be a guest speaker at the Arkansas Cryptid Fest at Old Bart's at 600 Broadway, North Little Rock, Arkansas. And it's being hosted by Drunken Cryptids, Matt Orton, my buddy. So come on out. It's free to the public. I think there's about 15, maybe 20 VIP tickets still available. Reach out to drunkencryptids@gmail.com to get one of those VIP tickets that are remaining. But on the 5th of June, which is the Friday, I will be at Green Door Collectibles in Knoxville, Arkansas, doing a meet and greet with my bro Josh from Mysteries Unknown and our buddy Cody from Strange Conspiracies. So, we'll be there from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. So come on out and say hi. We'll hear some stories and some stuff like that. And then, I'm found here on YouTube and on Spotify. So if you guys would like to come over and check out my show, please do so. subscribe if you can. I've got a goal that I'm trying to. I've got to set a goal for myself. I'm looking to get 10,000 by September 1st, and when I last looked, I was at 89 something. So 89.34. So I'm almost there. It's pretty close. So
And give everybody the exact name of your podcast so they know where to find you on YouTube.
the exact name is the Cryptid Podcast. How I lucked out getting that thing, I have no idea, but it was there and I snatched it up. I own the name. I got it all. I got the URL. I own it all. So
That is awesome. I was going to say, usually there's a number or something behind it,
Yep.
but good for you. Yeah.
I got it.
that's
And
amazing.
same thing on Spotify. It's the exact same thing. I'm trying to build that community there as well. Yep. The Cryptid Podcast. And then I'm also, if you guys have Apple Podcasts, all those type of things, I found out I'm on Alexa, I'm on Audible, I'm on Amazon. I'm like, what? So I'm all over there as well. So
That's awesome. Congratulations, Danno. Yeah, so definitely. And I'll list you on my main page. I've got like some
Awesome.
there. So we'll get everybody over and hopefully get your goal up to where it needs to be.
yeah. I put a
then-
lot of work into it. I do a lot.
You do.
I like you mentioned earlier, and Pops, I think you mentioned it as well. I do a morning live show, 6:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. I go to about 7:40 a.m. and I do it from my truck. I sit out in the parking lot of where my 9 to 5 is, dreading to go in there, and I chat with you guys. The morning chats are like the wild, wild west. We'll talk about anything. Definitely cryptids.
That's where I caught you at. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I take my son into school, it was always perfect. I was like, oh, Danno's on. This is great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Um,
Will would like to know if you're going to be on doing night chatter tonight.
Not tonight, you guys. I am going to go to bed after this. I have to get up tomorrow to do the live stream. I'm leaving work early because I am on vacation starting at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, picking up the rental car, and then early Thursday morning, I'm heading out to Arkansas. So
Awesome. Well, again, Danno, thank you so much for coming on. I mean, it's been a wealth of knowledge. You've been absolutely fantastic. What would you like to leave the people with until the next time?
you guys, don't do what I did and keep your mind closed to a lot of certain things. There are things that are out there that seeing is believing, and I'm a true believer in that type of thing. But when you see evidence like I showed you tonight, there are things out there that defy logic. That picture, that's the picture that did it for me. The one with the portal. There's something else to these creatures. If you guys do decide to go out and look for these things, be safe. Let people know where you're going. Do not go out alone. Go with people who you truly know. Equipment that you want to carry, if you think you're going to be out for a day, pack like a 3-day bag with some type of shelter, something to keep you warm, some food. If you have like little travel tracking beacons that you can hit an emergency that emergency services can pick up on, have that with you. If you have the ability to carry a firearm with you. And just be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. If you bring a pet with you, like your dog, pay attention to your dog. If your dog gets very, very skittish all of a sudden, you need to leave the area. And by all means, if you see one, do not approach them. Just if they see you, just let them know, hey, sorry, no disrespect. Let me get on out of here, and you should have no problem. So that's pretty much it.
That's awesome.
Never, ever leave your house to go out. I don't care if you're just going for an hour. Take snacks and water and an emergency blanket.
Yep. That's in my
The
truck all the
emergency
time.
blankets will go in a shirt pocket.
Oh, wow. That's good
Yeah.
to know.
You never know if you're going to fall and break a leg, whatever. So always have food and water and an emergency blanket and some way to contact somebody.
Pops, that's the military and us talking. I'm
It
always
is.
prepared.
It
Always
is.
prepared. My daughter was going on like a weekend camping trip with school, and all they needed was like a little backpack full of stuff. And my kid showed up with emergency whistle, fire starter, emergency blanket, a pin flare, and I had to take a lot of those things home because there was more chaperones than kids, so they did. And her teacher was like, military? I go, yep. I go, better to have it than not need it than need it and not have it. So
that's right. I'm in my backpack, military talking, I've got an extra pair of socks.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Always.
Well, Danno, thank you again. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in the military, that's the number one rule. Always have an extra pair of socks in your backpack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. I always carry an extra bag of everything, but not for the same reasons. But that's very good advice from and thank you again, both of you, for your service. It's absolutely wonderful that you did what you did and that you sacrificed what you did. So we appreciate that. And again, Danno, we'll be in touch and we'll definitely do a part 2.
I had so much fun. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, we did too.
Thank you, Danno. It was good
Thank
seeing you again.
I can get you scheduled.
Sorry, Danno, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
All right, Danno, we'll get together.
Yeah, I got you, man. Again, I'm looking to schedule out for the rest of the month, but this week I'm busy. I'm traveling, so
yeah. Well, you're not the only one. So.
Yeah, it's my first time speaking. Thank you.
Oh, good. You'll have fun. You're a great speaker, Danno. You do great. You let us know how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, and hopefully see some of you guys there. If you guys are in around the area, please stop by. It's great. Both events are free, so
that's amazing. Yeah. Yes, I'll definitely get that out there. If you send me the information, I can put it on my site. I don't know why I'm froze up for a second, but definitely. Okay.
Send me a message, Danno.
Poor Danno, we brought him on, taking him on. He's great though, isn't he? I absolutely, I absolutely enjoyed him. And Pops too, for Monday, why don't you tell everybody real quickly what we have going on for Monday and be exciting.
It's not next
Pops
Monday,
panel.
is it? Yeah, it is too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's next Monday. All right, next Monday at I done forgot the time.
8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah, 8 Central. We'll have Roger Williams, better known as Roger Holler, on here on Pop's panel. William was asking about it. Pop's panel is on this channel on SNXRadio every second and fourth Monday of the month. And we've got great guests lined up from now until November. But I've got some other people I'm trying to get a hold of to get on after that. And Danno will be one of them. I'll get Danno on sometime later on in the year.
You get Pops. If you guys have not seen Pop's panel with him, Keith will be on for one more show. Lori Ladd, Cindy Bailey, they're absolutely wonderful. It's a great time. It's a great show. I always say it's good for your soul. It's been it just like shot right off. I mean, you guys are doing very well. So we added an extra day. I don't know why I'm froze like this, but this is a little odd. But yeah, so definitely check it out. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you won't regret it. It's you guys are a great crew, a great group, and it definitely is. Maya even says the same thing. From the first time that we had them, just to encounter your energy was like amazing.
That I'm hoping Maya will be able to get back on with us. Normally Maya's on Monday nights with us too, but right now with her mom, y'all be sure and keep her in prayers because her mom's not doing too good.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, Pops. Maya is absolutely wonderful, and she loves, we both love Monday nights. It'll be nice to have her back, and hopefully she'll be able to make it. That's, absolutely. And go ahead.
COLEY is always on. You never know when she's going to have a show, so just be sure and hit that bell and watch because she comes on and we have great fun on her channels too. And always good content on her channel.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And then too, Pops is going to be on every Tuesday night. I said, I can't believe that you haven't been on camera, like doing a show before now, because you're such a natural at it. But every Tuesday, we're going to adjust the time a little bit.
it just kind of started to kick off. So we played with it a little, the time a little bit, but I think we're going to try and shoot for a little earlier on that and do a disclosure desk at the bare minimum. So if you have a story, not a story, if you have a testimony, I got to quit saying that because it sounds horrible, but I don't mean like story hour. I mean, it's somebody's, truth that they're telling. But if you've had an experience and feel like, oh, I don't have a full 2 hours worth, we have the disclosure desk and it's absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So.
Yeah, normally we start earlier, but Danno works, so we couldn't get here earlier today. That's why we were so late starting. And we're having a lot of trouble with StreamYard right now. And like I told Danno at the start of the show, it is not just us. Everybody I've talked to except him is having trouble with StreamYard.
I'm glad we're not alone because as soon as this, I'm just waiting. I should check and see when this is up because as soon as this is up, I'm instantly transferring over. And then we should probably, I haven't decided yet. I guess I'll send you the two options that I kind of have boiled it down to, but I really do. This is absolutely, I don't know what is going on, but after today, I say this every time, but I'm freezing up. There's no reason for it. I'm directly plugged in. I've got internet speeds, very high internet speeds. I've checked all that. So there's no reason that it should even be doing this. So I don't know.
Well, I didn't have as much trouble today because I did something different. I'm not using my phone as the camera and the microphone today. I actually got my laptop down here right in front of me, but I can't moderate more channels while I'm on live either, like I usually do.
Yeah, because then you freeze up. It used to be you could kind of switch back and forth. You can't even do that. So you'll like. No. I know. So it's time. We've had our StreamYard. We've had our fun with you, but I mean, it's time to go. It really is.
Say there's Blackie. Now I'm going to put a plug in for Old Line Cryptids. That's Blackie is on Old Line Cryptids, and they've been having trouble, hadn't you, Blackie?
Is he on StreamYard too?
Yeah, I think they're on StreamYard.
Oh, yes. Him and his wife have a show. It's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that's Oddcast Podcast is Blackie's show. That's Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And Online Cryptids is Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Same time we're on.
And if you want me to add any of them, Pops, to the main channel, just let me know and I can, because I've got a group of channels that, I don't know how I have it exactly put, but we can add them on there. I must be like behind because you should see chat just went like through it.
Yeah.
And it's not, so we're lagging somehow.
The one I would really like to plug and for you to put on the whatever you call it is Cedar Creek Farmstead Bottoms Pod. Y'all need to, they're on Friday nights at 8:00. And y'all, I know, Cindy, we'll get them on. But Cedar Creek comes on Friday at 8:00, and they have a great channel. On it, we do talk about the Bible. We have a nightly prayer. They ask for prayers for people. They have a prayer list. So y'all need to start coming. They also have Facebook pages. Check those out. Hey, hi, Erica. There's Chad and Erica both right there.
Yeah, they're great. Pops has sent me that before. So you definitely, if you just send me that, the links and I can get those added on there. Pops, that's no problem.
I'll try to remember to do that tomorrow afternoon.
Sure.
Which one you want them
on? The links to whatever channel you want us to endorse.
What do you want them on?
Yeah, I know. I'm having an identity crisis. So you know what? I'm going to go with yes. Thank you. Okay. That works. And that way I'll just keep it separate because I get between all the different accounts. I mean, it's like stuff gets, I'm not good about that stuff sometimes, but I appreciate it. Email it and then I'll get those added on. And then
Okay.
two,
And-
tomorrow, JT Truth Seeker will be on at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to do a disclosure desk then. And that's, yeah. And sorry, what else were you going to say, Pops? No, that's all I got for right now.
No, that was it. I was just going to remind them about tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean I beat you to it?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm on the ball then.
You're doing good.
And real quickly, too, I want to thank T-Bone. Thank you so much for the super chat. Bigfoot fans, that's Cindy. She's a part of Pop's panel on the 2nd and the 4th Monday. And we've got, Misanthropic. Am I going to say it wrong? I don't have my glasses on. Misanthropic.
Misanthropic American.
Yes, thank you. I don't, like I said, I'm apologize for my glass. I had them right before too, but Moon at Noon, thank you so much. Diane, it's always appreciated. Thank you so much. And let me see here. We have going through we had so many great comments too. Chris, sadly, I know you're sleeping, but thank you. It's greatly appreciated. New England, always great. You had awesome questions. Bimora, it's great to see you. And Mr. Catfish, thank you so much. And a great little tidbit about Mr. Catfish is he had followed me since I had my first channel on here, and I was first starting to experience all this UFO stuff. So it's kind of cool that I was glad that he reconnected. And PNW Rush, if you guys have not gone over there, go over there and subscribe. Eric and Glenn are great. They're fantastic. So yeah. And then Pops, before we go, what would you like to leave the audience with until the next time?
As we were saying earlier, if you go out in the woods, be sure and take some safety precautions. I mean, food and water, emergency blanket, a compass. Your GPS is not always going to work on your phone, so get you a good compass and take it. I mean, you can fit it all in a small first aid pack. You can fit it all into a small pack to carry on your back or on your, what they call them, a butt pack. Always do that.
A fanny pack?
Yeah, fanny pack.
I love it.
Because you never know. You go out and twist an ankle. How you going to get back? You break a leg. How you going to get back? And it's very possible just going out, like me, walking from here out into the backside back here, it could happen anytime and not be able to get back. In fact, I got a quick story to tell, and I'll explain why. I was deer hunting back here, and my whole stand fell out of the tree with me on it.
Oh, my God.
Right after I'd had back surgery. I couldn't walk. I literally had to crawl out of the woods to my truck, use my gun barrel to open the door latch, and crawl up into the truck and get back to the house and get somebody to come open the gate for me. I had to honk the horn. I could not move because I fell on where I just had that back surgery. Anytime something can happen, always have safety factors with you.
That's a great point, and I think that more people need to be conscious and aware of that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe right after back surgery?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I had back surgery in August and fell out of the stand in October.
Oh God.
And what's bad is it landed on a limb 6 inches around, broke off as I hit it with my elbow and knocked it off. And right on that scar where I had that back surgery, landed right on that limb.
Oh.
Like I said, I could not move my legs it was a good 2 hours before I could even move my legs again.
I bet.
So you never know when something's going to happen. Always have first aid with you. Always. Water, food. I mean, even if it's just those granola bars, carry 3 or 4 of them granola bars with you. That's enough to tide you over if you have to spend the night in the woods. And with those emergency blankets, like I said, they'll fit in your shirt pocket.
Wow, yeah, I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Being military trained, I wear a pistol belt with a canteen with a pouch on the side, and it's got all that in that pouch.
Yeah. See, you should put those together. That'd be a great thing to have, like even purchase. I'd definitely purchase one.
Oh, they're out there. Doc on DA Robert's show, he sells them. He's got all kinds of first aid packs. That's something to use for a tourniquet. You never know.
No, it's good. You don't. When you're out there, you don't know. And you're right. Your cell phones, especially out in the woods, they're not reliable or dependable. Definitely not.
I carry I've got an Army, a military grade compass that I carry, but you got to learn how to use them too. But
yeah,
you can buy them on Amazon. Buy you a military grade compass, learn to use it, and then you will never get lost in the woods.
That's a good point. Which side is the moss on? If you get lost, what is the moss on the north?
That is not always true. It's supposed to be on the north side, but that is not always true. I've found it on the south side some. It actually, Dark Angel Medical is the name of Doc's. Blackie just put it in there.
Thank you, Blackie.
If you get into a good shaded area, the moss might be on the south side, so you can't go by that. There's another little trick. If you look real close at the leaves on a bush, one side is tilted down more than the other side, 95% of the time. Well, that side that is tilted down farther is south. The north side is up farther.
Okay.
That's
good to know.
But none of them are 100% at all times.
I was a zipline guide trainer, and we did it out on and I tell you, I learned a lot out there. I used to eat the berries, and here I was. And don't eat the berries, okay? Because I was eating them, and I was like, man, these taste horrible. I looked up, they're like pulp berries, and it said,
poisonous.
Yeah, that's what it said. In 5 hours, you're either going to be dead, and I thought, do I even go to the ER? This is so stupid. I just ate 3 handfuls of them. I didn't. Nothing.
Well, it depends on the stage they're in, how poisonous they are.
I couldn't believe I did it. I could not believe, it's just like, but yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch what you're doing out there, and you need to learn before you go out there. And like we said, never go by yourself, especially if you're untrained.
That's a good point. And yes. And that's keep everybody updated on where you're at. It's easy to get lost. It's easy, something to happen, fall, like Pop said, you never know. It's good to always take those precautions. Definitely.
Yeah. And we'll go over a lot more of this as ever shows. So
that's good. This is great.
Never saying I'm pulling a Roger, the 20-minute Southern goodbye. Thank you, Moon.
Thank you so much, Moon. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that they're great. It's great safety tips, and it's awareness for everybody. And that's really what you're creating. And I think that's what makes you stand so different than most people. Is like you're really giving people a full conceptualization on what this is like, what to expect, what to bring with you. And that's really, what people are looking for. I am, I know, definitely.
Well, I'm not giving a full list of what to take with you because everybody's different. You're going to want to take different things than I'm going to take because I'm a tracker. So I carry flags, I carry marking tape, I carry a lot of other things so I can track whatever I need to mark the track line. You wouldn't carry stuff like that. But as far as safety things, yes, everybody needs to carry the safety items.
Yeah, no, I used to carry, I started them. I have one of those camelbacks with the water, and
yeah,
I'll never forget it when we were out there and I was on the line, and you're having to pull, when you're pulling somebody in, it's not easy to pull somebody in off a zip line. And I tell you, about died out there from thirst, and that was enough to wake me up on that one. But
I always carry, well, I don't ever go very far, but I still carry at least a canteen of water. But it don't hurt to have a couple bottles of water in your backpack. because if you get stuck overnight, a canteen is not going to last very long. Thank you, Danno, for
Yeah,
coming
Danno,
on.
you're good. Yeah, we appreciate it, Danno. We won't keep you. You're good to go. Yep. And then
Send me a message and we'll work out a time.
you'll love him on your show, Danno. You really will. But you can't keep him. Just joking. But yeah, no, this has been an absolute wonderful time. I've really appreciated Danno coming on. I mean, those pictures really were mind blowing. This is great information, and I'll get this clip to Pops and try and get some of that safety stuff together, because I really do think it's very important for everybody to listen to.
I need to sit down and really think about it and come up with a list of what you should carry. You don't have to carry a full medical kit like we were talking about a while ago, but certain things you do need to carry.
I always keep my lip gloss on me, but that's not probably something, huh?
That's what I said. Everybody's different.
I'm joking. No, I literally went full gear, like when we were out on those zip lines, but we always had a way to hop across from one zone to the next. But let me tell you get out there sometimes and it's easy to get turned around.
The only time I ever even carry anything anymore is like when I go to Brown Springs, because it's a 320-yard walk down to the river. And you don't know what you're going to run into or what's going to happen. So I always take my first aid kit with me there. Now, I always carry, but when I pull into somewhere to camp, I'll pray right there before I even pull in. And then I will get out and I will tell the cryptids why I'm there, that I'm not there to bother them, and that my pistol that I'm carrying is not for them.
Yeah, they don't like guns. I've heard that. Definitely heard that. That's a good idea.
I'll still see them. Just like up there, that one we saw at LBL, Roger Holler and I saw at LBL, and I got a picture of it. I had my pistol on my hip right there.
In Iowa, we carry, I mean, it's nothing to, I've gotten a little bit more cautious about it, but I used to throw it under the seat of my car. It's like, we don't hear it. It's different. Like when you go to different states, obviously, you don't want to go into, but Iowa, we're so laid back about it. But, it's nobody's like shooting up any place. Like it's for protection or the range. It's not, it's not, nobody's out hunting or Bigfoot, like people, this isn't a sport, and that should never, ever be. So if anybody's listening, please don't take it the wrong way.
And here's something else. Like I said, we need to make a list and go over all of it, but dryer lint, carry a baggie of dryer lint and put some matches inside with it where you can always start a fire.
It's easier than rubbing two sticks together, that's for sure.
Oh, a lot easier. A lot easier.
Yeah, and there's a lot of tricks.
I still carry a lighter.
Yeah, just don't let Lori have it.
No. Oh, yeah, she stole my lighter at LBL. I had to get another one.
See, when you think about it, if you needed to start a fire, that can of hairspray would have really come in handy.
Yeah, but I ain't going to carry a can of hairspray with me, but I do carry a baggie full of dryer lint. Dryer lint will start a fire in no time.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I learned that from a Boy Scout. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
Well,
see, these are good tips. We should do like what's a name? Like a survival? I don't know exactly what you call it. There's the survival kit. Is that what? Yeah, I think a lot of people would be interested in doing that. That'd be cool. Definitely.
Yeah, dryer sheets, like he said too. They work too.
That's interesting. Yeah, I was. You think about your dryer, I was like, whoa, man, I didn't know they were that flammable. But yeah, that dryer lint, I'm telling you, we went to go start it, couldn't do it. And I'm like, somebody's like, do you have dryer lint? I was like, a garbage can downstairs full of it. And it went right up.
Oh yeah, and that's why a lot of house fires start from the dryer vent popping up with lint and getting too hot and starting the fire.
I believe that.
I believe
There
that.
you go. P.N. Rush said it right there. Cryptid survival kit.
Yeah. See, I think you're onto something. Have you spoken with Eric and Glenn yet? Perhaps you'll love that. Next time
I watched them on the shows, but I haven't talked to them. No.
Oh gosh, they are a trip. I know they've got something going on the next couple weeks, but I'll try and get them on a Tuesday. They are a trip. I really enjoy them. Really
I've
enjoy
watched
them.
several times, but I haven't actually talked to them.
Oh
And,
yeah, they're great. You like them. Glenn,
That
they
was
always have Glenn doing something. He's kind of like the bait, and they've been friends since college, and the dynamic is really they're funny. They bring a lot of knowledge, but their humor. Oh my gosh, it's a cool show. Very cool.
I wrote down TKB so I ain't got him. I'll have to figure out a way to get a hold of him.
I didn't know if he was on Facebook or not, but if anybody knows how to get a hold of TKB, definitely let us know, because I know Pops is trying to get
I'll have him next time I see him in chat. I'll have him get a hold of me, and we can either have him on Pop's panel or on the disclosure.
Either one works. Yeah, if you get him, nail him down.
It's good. I've listened to him before.
Oh yeah, I like TKB. I do. He's wonderful, and he's a really good. He's very supportive as well, and you can tell he's genuinely passionate about what he does. So that's amazing.
Now, and he taught me something that I never thought of it until I heard him talking about it. Every tree, every living thing has a spirit, especially the trees, and he got me in the habit of apologizing to the trees when I cut walking sticks.
Oh, I've heard you do that before.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. He listens to the trees, and he's not the only one. There's several people that I know that actually talk to the trees, and the trees talk back. That's like people don't believe me either when I say the Bigfoot talked to me and the Dogman talked to me. They do. Every living thing has a spirit, and every living thing will talk to you if you listen.
Absolutely. 1000%. I've gotten a picture before, and you could see what was running through, like, I don't know, it was almost like energy running through the trees. And I was like, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely a believer.
That's what's said. And that's why TKB actually, I don't know how to say this. I was interested in his story his experience, because of all of that. And that's why I want to get him onto the show.
Oh, that's very cool. That is very cool. Well, we'll get him on. And like I said, either way, you can Tuesday or a Pop's panel. I mean, or both. I mean, that works.
Yeah.
I would love to get him on.
Probably have an opening on here faster than me. What is going on with my phone?
Yeah, I know. I can't believe
I'm booked up all the way through November already.
Well, you know what? If you want to start filling, I mean, if you get an overflow for Tuesdays, go right ahead. I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, is just try to get some of them for Tuesday.
That would be, great. Thank you. I would appreciate it. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we're booked up on Pop's panel. Like I said, 11th month is the first month that I don't have an opening. I mean, that I've got an opening.
That's amazing.
So that'd be November. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Well, you can thank Lori and Cindy for some of them.
No, you guys are an amazing team. I mean, I absolutely just blown away. I mean, it shows people how we need to stick together. It shows people that this isn't a team. This isn't a one-man mission. This is a collective,
Yes, Roger Holler, you are on next Monday. I will send you the link as soon as COLEY posts it.
Yes, Roger, and we're not going to be with StreamYard, by next Monday, but we'll have it figured out, and by then, I think it'll be a lot better experience. That's for sure.
Did you find Roger's bio?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Danno's, I did not. Oh God,
I'm responsible for if there was anything, so I'll go through and make sure that everything was
Okay.
AI. You cannot trust AI. I have a thing through. I won't even go into it, but yeah,
I don't use
definitely.
AI at all.
I
mean,
usually
not at all.
don't. I usually don't. But this week, because I've been moving and packing, I kind of would just cut any time you cut a little corner, this is what happens.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I don't like
Well,
AI either. I like to write my own.
I've figured out a way to store it, and now all I got to do is just send you the folder through email.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to put it on here.
Well, we won't be on here, but the next place we go, our new home, the StreamYard, you're not our new home. I hate to break it to you, but our new home, we'll figure out, and then we can go through and kind of figure it out together.
Yeah.
I figure it's
Okay.
kind of pointless at this point to go through StreamYard if we're kicking it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you.
But yeah, so I
Roger's
just. Oh, go ahead.
going to be on Doug's show Sunday night, he said.
And Doug
Oh,
is.
you're talking about Doug Highcheck.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be he's filling in for Doug Highcheck on Untold Radio
Awesome.
Sunday night.
That's awesome. Do you have a link or?
Yeah, I do. Hang on a minute. I've got it for Roger. I just got to find it.
Yeah, we'll get that posted. Roger, you have a great
There it
channel.
is. Come on. And of course, man, I'm still not used to this. And it's messing me up.
It is.
This Windows 11 is different from Windows 7, and I'm still not used to it.
I'm back on a MacBook. So I have a MacBook Pro. I'm back on an iOS, and it's still like, it doesn't matter. It really does not. Here we go. So if you guys are Sunday night, what time do you know?
What time, Roger?
Yeah, what time, Roger? We're just waiting on Roger to fill.
Yeah.
Mine is bad. I know that mine is lagging a little, so Roger could have very well have answered. If you did, Roger, we apologize. It's StreamYard.
So let's see. Doug is live every night, Sunday night at 7 p.m.
Oh, see, mine didn't even. Okay. So, here, mine just popped up. So it'll be 7 Central. Yeah. Okay, great. Go check it
Amy
out.
set it up above. I seen it from Amy up above. Thank you, Amy.
Amy's on
Thank
it.
you,
Yes,
Roger.
thank you. Thank you, Amy and Roger. And hello, Woo. We got you're just coming in as we're going out. So, but definitely, Woo, if you didn't get a chance, definitely go back and watch it. It's been a great show.
Woo's been lurking. He was here earlier.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Woo, when I was on Spaced Out Radio After Hours, I've known Woo since then. Derek's always, he's on top of things too. So that's awesome. And then I guess in closing, do you have anything that else pops, or are we good until
they're wanting to get out of here?
No, so you're fine. Yeah, so tomorrow again, JT True Seeker will be on at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Definitely on Sunday night, 7 p.m. Go over and check out Roger if you're available. And Pops put that link in there. So we got that. And then Monday, Roger will be on Pop's panel. So definitely tune in, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That'll be next Monday. And I'll fill you in on the rest of the week. So
look at there. Roger said he needs to get you on Squatch and Holler. That's
wow.
Thursday nights at 7 o'clock.
No, I'd love to. I would love to. That'd be awesome. Great show. I'm a fan, Roger. I'm a big fan. Pop's got me over there, and you guys have a lot. I appreciate your work over there. So I guess he's
never asked me to come on.
You were on Roger's show. You and Lori were.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing him.
Oh, I'm like, how do I know? And you don't know. You were, right?
Yeah, I was just teasing Roger.
I was like, either that or I'm cracking up.
Roger without teasing him. He knows that. I'll tell you this right quick, and then I'm done. at LBL, every time I'm around Roger, when we're out in the woods, I'll tell Roger, there's one behind you. And boy, he'll jerk around real quick, looking, and there's not either. He don't know it, but there usually is. And I'm teasing him. This time at LBL, I said that, and there was one up there, and I actually got a picture of it, and he got to see it, and he went chasing up into the woods after it.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I always tease him by saying there's one behind him, whether there is or not.
He thinks you forgot you were on his show. You and Lori were on his show.
I was teasing him. Like I said, I can't get around Roger without teasing him. Even on his show, I'll tease him during the show. He just ignores it.
Does he? I love it. That's the best. Jim Goodall always does that to me. I'll crack it, and then he sits there just straight faced, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's so funny." Oh, if you can do it.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and listening to an old man ramble.
No, you're great, and you absolutely are a fantastic addition. So we love you over here, Pops. So, and on behalf of SNX Radio, thank you for taking the journey into the unknown. I'm Coley, also known as ColeyUFO, and we have Gary. Well, he's on this side tonight. Gary Spikes Sr., also known as Pop. So definitely check it out. And until next time, we'll see ya and be good to one another.
ColeyUFO on SNXRadio. Whole room lean when the signal go. My starfire got that spark on glow. 2 names hit and the code it folds. ColeyUFO, don't leave me low. My starfire, let the whole thing roll. Hands in the sky, let the rumor show. One more second.